Well, howdy, howdy, everybody. It's Sunday, Sunday Fun Day. In other words, we're here to chill for a little while before we start the news, as per usual. So, hello. Welcome to the website, Monkey Bubbles. Anyone watching in the YouTube chat, first of all, hit that like button. It's quick, it's easy, it's free. It immediately helps the show. We appreciate it very much. But also, if you're interested, you can join the website chat, which is one of the first links in the description. And you can come over here and get cool custom emojis. You can set your pronouns so that people can see them when they hover over your name. Hello, Kitty Tick. Hello, Mama Mephistopheles. Stop being so anxious. I will haunt your dreams. Hello, Junebug. What's up, Mersh? And then, yes, hello to the YouTube chat. A couple people hanging out over there. People are wondering what exploded. Mostly it's the Olympics, right? Like, that's the main thing that I've seen in the news. I mean, obviously, like, the stuff where I get my sources is kind of particularly online, I suppose. But, yeah, we've seen a lot of commentary about all of the... like, oh, this person is actually a man, and then J.K. Rowling's getting in on it, and Joe Rogan's getting in on it. So that's kind of our main segment for today. Although there is also... Hi, Mr. Kitty. Oh, are you interrupting right now? Do you want to come say hello? Hello. Come here. So you're just going to stand there and scream? That's pretty much his modus operandi. He just stands there and screams. Yeah, and the other thing that exploded is that there's Nazi riots and lynch mobs kind of shit happening in the UK. They burned a library. I just saw that. Yeah, you good? Hey. He is aggressively ignoring me right now. Yeah, transphobia toward intersex people. And I mean, like, not even there's not even necessarily proof that these athletes are intersex. So anyway, we'll get to it in a minute. We will get to it in a minute. I feel like the Olympics has so much riz, you know, when like a big event happens and there are a bunch of people making memes and talking about this. So like, oh, all these, this like a really high profile thing. I really am much more partial to the Olympics than to other stuff like the Met Gala or whatever. Boop, beep, boop. I am Mecha Horty today. Working on Lego. Nice. So yes. Oh yeah. Thank you, Tinty. I don't know when this donation came in. It could have been at the end of last stream or before the stream started today, but I'm going to count it as being toward today's donation goal. Thank you, Tinty, for the $5 dono. It says thank you for all your work supporting us. I appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Nazis burning books again. Wow. This is like a rerun season. You know? There you go. You got the pronouns. Hell yeah. News keeps compounding my frustration nowadays, but I need to stay informed. Rip. I know. That's part of why during my show, we kind of just fuck around for the first hour. You know, I pretty much consistently do a 4-hour show because I get real tired after that. And the first hour, sometimes even 2 hours, we just kind of talk about whatever's on my mind, whatever's on your mind. What's up, Viren? Yeah, what century are we in? This is, it's a rerun season for sure. Last 2020 Olympics, they decided to start attacking female mid-range runners for having higher than normal T. Yeah, so was Caster Semenya ever at the Olympics, or was it a lower level of competitive sport? Summer of Star, hello. Oh, geez. This is a fun fact. Completely unrelated, but you should, you know, get your medical stuff like checked every once in a while, you know? Because I just got kind of just annual checkup blood work done and found out that my LDL is high. So, cholesterol. So now I'm eating a lot more oats and got to get more soluble fibers in my diet, and I'm going to eat fish more often. And then in order to combat the mercury in the fish, you have to drink green tea. It's like, yeah, it's fun. Yeah, worse than reruns, it's a clip show. Ugh. Yeah. And this is also kind of unrelated, but is anybody here familiar with the Hippy Dippy panel show? Hippy Dippy? If any of you are fans of Demon Mama, you know what Hippy Dippy is. She hasn't done it in a while, but she used to be on there quite a bit. Oh my god. Drink water, everybody. TBH, if the memes were not making the rounds, I would never have known the Olympics were happening. True. It's just not really something I'm interested in, like, going out for. Red wine is great for LDL. I do like red wine. I'm more of a whiskey drinker, but, you know. Just got blood work done. Best numbers I've had in 4 years. Congrats, Noah. Heavy metals aren't expelled by tea. Where'd that come from? So, yeah, we actually went over it on stream one time. There is a study that shows that, basically some compound in green tea prevents your body from absorbing mercury into your muscles. So it increases the amount in your blood, but then you void it out. So it's like, the problem with mercury is that it accumulates in your muscles. So yeah, green tea, something about green tea specifically, prevents your muscles from absorbing mercury, or at least as much mercury. It's crazy to me that now, 4 days into this whole thing, people are still being loudly wrong when it's very easy to research that they are wrong. Right, with this whole Olympics thing, right. I've been sitting here planning on talking about it with you, and I've already talked about it offline this week, so I'm like, it feels like old news, weirdly, after only a couple days. Demon Mama's handling of the whole Xander Hall thing has rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see that. I think that, I personally am of the opinion, and my video about Xander Hall is coming out tomorrow, I think. I think that it's probably a good thing to make it known that, like, if there are people who are not good, I'm going to say role models, that's not exactly the right word, but, you know, as a creator, I mean, you are literally an influencer, right? For an influencer to wish death upon a trans woman and abuse his friend and employee, you know, like, I think it is one of those things where he would have downplayed all of that in the absence of the publishing of receipts. So, you know, I'm not comfortable having someone like that just kind of being able to twist the narrative. We can also talk about Gina Carano picking a fight with Alana McLaughlin and running away and blocking her and everyone else who calls her out. She's hilarious. Early on, I used to mix up Luxander and Xander Hall because of the names. Well, that's cringe. I was... The first thing I wanted to say was, like, I'm much more attractive, which... That's a joke. It's like, I don't really judge people's attractiveness like that. I just wanted to be like, well, I'm obviously so much cuter. But no, in reality, like, the biggest difference between us is that I have way better takes. Oh, God. Yeah, this stuff with the boxer is... That's what we're going to be focusing on when we get into the topic. This boxer that everybody claims is really a man and all this, you know, very stable behavior, for sure. You should change your name to Luxander Hall so that you can steal all of his searches. Yeah. Even the girl who she, quote, punched too hard has come out and apologized and said she respects the Olympic Committee decision to let her box. Yeah, I do think it's unfortunate that she kind of, like, ran with it for the first several days and consequently sort of... She was the Italian one, right? Italy has an extreme far-right government, and so it is pretty unfortunate to me that she was part of her far-right government's attempt to, like, scapegoat trans people more. I'm assuming you would pay your editors. I have. I have had an editor before, and she charged really low prices, so I like rounded up a little bit every time I paid her. But yeah, no, I have paid an editor before. I don't currently have a team working for me. Like, that's... I said it last time, and I'm gonna say it again. The craziest thing to me about, like, the way that Xander Hall's channel works and has worked for a while, especially, like, he was really heavily relying on Cherry, his editor and friend. The craziest thing to me is that Cherry did all of the work off stream, basically. That, like, you know, I do my own research. I decide what we're going to talk about and I research it. I put my links together. I set up the stream stuff. Like, I troubleshoot things on my computer, sometimes with my partner's help, like when there are problems with my computer. Like, I set up the set. and I do my own editing and my own thumbnails and all of the SEO stuff. Like, I do everything on this channel by myself. And, it's not like a lot, right? I'm not going to say like I'm amazing. I'm posting one video a day or whatever. But I'm almost at one video per day. I stream twice a week. That gives me usually more than enough content to post almost every day in a week. I do my own YouTube shorts, so it's kind of insane to me that someone can do this job and basically only show up for the stream, having not done any of the research, and then pass off the entire project to someone else to finish it. It's just kind of, and like doing that, make enough money to pay someone else $1,500 a month to do all of that. It's like, it's a little bit crazy to me. By the way, we're just going to kind of talk about whatever right now. We'll get into the serious topics in a minute, but if you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. It immediately helps the show, brings more people in, and more people equals more views, equals number go up. Number go up. And I am still running a GoFundMe because my partner and I and my younger sibling are moving to the Pacific Northwest in about 5 months, 6 months-ish. And it's going to be insanely expensive. So appreciate you checking out the GoFundMe. Wealth is wasted on the people who get it. Yeah, agreed. Truly, I wish I had $1,500 per month just like to throw away, basically. Do you trim the sides on your own, on your hair? Yes, I do. So I have a nice brand of clippers that I think Mersh bought for me off of my Amazon wishlist a while ago. And yeah, so the front is pretty easy. I have like, I have one of these mirrors. I actually have 2 of these mirrors that are like the handheld ones that you can hold pretty close to your face. I sit down in front of the bathroom counter, so I have one mirror on the counter really, really close to my face so that I can see. And then I have a second mirror exactly like that I hold up behind my head while I'm getting the behind my head part. And it's probably not nearly as clean back there. Like, the lines are probably not nearly as smooth. But yeah, I just shave my own head. It's pretty easy. It doesn't take very long either. Probably the worst thing is, like, I usually start on the right side, and then I also usually start in the front, so by the time I get over to the left side in the back, my arms are, like, tired. Agreed, Drea. Drea, are you the one who posted, like, the most insane donation to my GoFundMe? Either way, thank you. A little bit hungover, getting ready for work. Yes. Looks good. I swear we have the same trimming schedule. I'm terrible about being on a schedule. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. I was like, this is insane. Yeah, seriously. I don't know if there's enough thank yous in the world for that enormous donation. So, thank you. Oh, gosh. Corvo says, one reason people wanting to escape the U.S. Is a losing game because fascism and bigotry is rampant in a lot of places. Yeah, my personal opinion, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is I personally think that finding a blue area within the United States is probably the safest bet. Because, like, in America, you know, it sucks we have this whole insurance thing and everything, but at least we have informed consent care, which means that we, you know, we're not reliant on a national health service which can just spontaneously decide to stop providing the care. You know, like, it's pretty much almost impossible to get phalloplasty in the UK right now, and kids cannot access any form, like teenagers cannot access any form of affirmative care, even through the private clinics, without there being a risk of them being like targeted for wellness checks from like the equivalent of Child Protective Services. Thank you, Loaf, for the $5. Take my bakery bucks. Thank you. It's kind of slow. It'll take a minute to pop up on the screen, but I appreciate you. That puts us at $10 for today. Y'all, I've been hitting the gym super hard, so I'm actually noticing like a pretty significant difference in my biceps. I have changed what I'm doing at the gym, and I'm like making a point to go harder every time, you know? Cis women beauticians often don't want to do my hair in my area. I have a short military hairdo and I tip well. However, due to my androgynous appearance, I have to go to the barber shop most of the time. Transphobia toward intersex people is definitely a thing. I deal with it almost daily anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. And like, you know, I guess I think of Virginia as being like a pretty... It's not as bad as West Virginia as far as politics and like being a super red state goes, but yeah, it's everywhere, right? And like, even if you're moving to Washington State, it's like, if you go too far away from Seattle and Tacoma, you're going to be in a red area again. Like if you were to move into Eastern Washington on the other side of the mountains, then yeah. My problem is not with Demon Mama covering it. It's that she didn't reveal this info sooner. Yeah. I can understand that criticism. Saw some folks talking about what happens if Harris wins and Trump becomes too old to run again. If Harris does win, there's going to be a bunch of libs who want to mend fences with MAGA, and I'm over here thinking, nah. Trying to reunite with hateful fascists is what wrecked Reconstruction and led to Jim Crow. Yeah. I do think that is a reasonable concern, that in the pursuit of bipartisanship or whatever, they might continue to pull the Democratic Party closer to the right wing in an attempt to be like, oh, well, you know, we need to represent these people. And meanwhile, like, anyone who's further left feels completely unrepresented. Like, there is... You have to move to fucking California in order to feel like you have any left-leaning representation. And even then, Governor Newsom is still doing street sweeps and like cracking down on homelessness and everything. Yeah, book bans becoming more prevalent across this country. Someone was asking me recently if my plans to move, because I live in Kansas, there's a bathroom ban. I can't use public bathrooms without like worrying about being arrested or assaulted or whatever. And I'm moving up to the Pacific Northwest, and someone was asking, will my plans change? Because I'm moving after the election. They're like, would you change your plans if Harris wins? And my opinion is that there's going to be civil unrest no matter who wins. Either Trump is going to win. Yeah, I know cracking down on homelessness thing is also a major problem in Oregon. I've been seeing that. Like, I've joined some groups on Reddit just to kind of keep tabs on what's going on in the areas that I'm looking on moving into. And yeah, people complain about the transients and, you know, there's not adequate services to protect you. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that if Trump wins, there's going to be civil unrest in the sense that the groups like the Proud Boys and Patriot Front are going to be emboldened to, you know, attack people basically. And like, I know someone who is really trying to get me to move to Pennsylvania instead of the Pacific Northwest because they're worried about like right-wing militias in Oregon and stuff like that. Which I think I'll be relatively safe. Like, in my life outside of the internet, I pretty much am exclusively viewed as a cisgender female, and I just don't fucking care anymore. And like, my partner is a pretty masculine cis het man, so it's like we probably will be able to go without any red flags or anything. You know, people won't really notice us in that way. But yeah, and then if Harris wins, I think we're looking at something like basically January 6th to Electric Boogaloo. And yeah, I just don't really perceive a situation here where there's like a peaceful next 4 years. I have heard about the far right riots in the UK. I haven't done an extensive amount of research into it, although I did just see before stream started that a library was like burned. I did not retweet it, so I don't have it up top here, but like a library was sacked essentially and burned all the shit. Maybe see if it's still on my front page here somewhere. No, I don't think it's on my front page still. Cat. Yeah, so I didn't put together a lot of links on that, but I am familiar with it, and I'm interested in looking at it and covering it. Yeah, exactly, Coin Silver. Unrest is going to happen kind of no matter what. Okay, thank you for this link. Hello, in a box. Welcome in. Trump vowed to dismantle a new Biden administration policy that will offer protections for trans students under Title IX, a federal civil rights law which prohibits sex discrimination in education. Yeah, there's so many things that they claim they're going to do. Shush, shush, shush. There's like so many things that they plan to mess up in the like Republican Party platform. It's gonna be crazy. What's up, Corpse Candy? Remember, everybody, if you're just coming in, hit the like button. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and even if you don't want to stay and hang out with us, because this is the hanging out part of the stream, where we're not like, news at 9, I'm giving you the updates, you know, like we're not there yet. But we will get there, okay? I need to check my calendar. I don't know if I'm on the Transatlantic Call-In show this week. I know I'm on it 3, or I was going to be on it 3 times this month, but I ended up not coming on this past week. Let me see. Okay, so yeah. So for those of you who don't know, The Line is a call-in show network, and we do the Transatlantic call-in show on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Central Time. We accept calls from trans people, from allies, from transphobic people who want to argue with us, and I'm going to be on there this Thursday, and then I will be on again on the 22nd and the 29th of this month. So you can always join the Discord if you want to get a notification for that. Charlotte, oh my gosh. Mayo side, thank you so much for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Charlotte says, working, listening, saw some white names in chat. Hi. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is better than whatever rubbish YouTube throws at me when I'm bored. Well, that's good. Yeah, Charlotte, you've gifted a bunch of tier 1 subs, but then your own sub. What about your own sub? In any case, thank you very much. Adding 25 to the total today. Come back, chat. Come back to me. I just woke up. Where are my glasses? The struggle is real. There we go. Thank you, Charlotte, for the tier 1 sub. Problem solved. There you go. You got your green name back. Oh my gosh, I might have to go grab my Vaseline because my lips are splitting. I decided to stop using my my O'Keeffe's because it has beeswax in it, and apparently that can make your chapped lips worse sometimes. So I'm like just trying to use Vaseline right now to see if that helps. Yes. Yeah, it depends. Everybody sets the colors on their own custom website. So mine is like tier 1 is green, tier 2 is blue, tier 3 is purple, and tier 4 is red. $113 people hanging out. Appreciate you. We'll get into the serious news in a little bit. We gotta warm up, okay? A lot of homemade balms would likely have some combination of oil and wax as a base. Yeah. Apparently beeswax, like some people are kind of allergic to it, so I'm just trying something. It's like the #1 ingredient. So I was like, oh, and it also has fucking almond oil in it. I don't like almonds. Jeez. Excuse me. I think the real problem is that I'm chronically dehydrated because I have POTS. So I'm thinking about getting some like salt pills so that I can just take like a salt supplement because apparently I'm not getting enough of it in my diet to retain the liquids. The heightened potential danger has been there since Zan's threats were made originally, something arguably the community should have been warned about months ago. Demon Mama kept it under wraps for months, just as she and the clique kept Keffels, Poppy, and Xena, etc. under wraps for months until it boiled over. Well, so with Keffels, there were whistleblowers who needed to be protected, right? Like, because there was concern that Keffels would retaliate. Because Keffels likes to dox people for fun. Like, she doesn't usually publish it, but she apparently enjoys finding people's docs for fun. So I could see there being concern about retaliation. So with Keffels, you know, Demon Mama waited until there was like an adequate understanding of safety for the whistleblowers. With Poppy and Xena, I don't even think Demon Mama has talked about Poppy and Xena, but PZ are like a much smaller group, like a much smaller community, much smaller channel. So I could see it being like, oh, maybe it's not worth it to cover this. Because Demon Mama also didn't cover Aaron Green, and Aaron Green was like outed as a like groomer, basically, you know? But I also didn't talk about Aaron Green, so sometimes you gotta pick your battles. Charlotte with the gifted tier 1 sub to Corpse Candy says, Corpse Candy needs subbed too, Smuggy. True. Thank you very much. And Corpse Candy, enjoy your fun color. And the Dix emoji. Much love for the Dix emoji. I heard that Katie Ledecky also has POTS. I didn't know that. Katie Ledecky is awesome. We will talk about her later. DM says she doesn't want to get into the PZ stuff. Yeah. And it's like, it's over more or less now anyway. The specific reason why I wanted to talk about it was because I had the, like, I have been in serious treatment for borderline personality disorder, and I want to challenge the way that Poppy talks about BPD. No, not Aaron in the Morning. That's Aaron Reed. Aaron Green is a Twitch streamer. What's up, Winter V? And I think that a lot of us don't want to be defined by getting into, you know, effectively community drama exploitation type stuff. You know, like I talked about James Somerton when it was revealed that he faked his death, basically. And I talked about Poppy and Xena, just the one video being like, here is like the breakdown of all of their questionable behavior, and here's why you should not treat them like they're experts on BPD or polyamory or any of this stuff. And then this Xanderhall thing I've also talked about because it is, I think, relevant to know that someone is a bad actor in the community. Oh, I guess I did cover the Keffels thing too. But yeah, you don't want to be defined by that as a streamer who has other shit going on. Like, I want to be able to talk about a bunch of different stuff. I'm worn out. Got back late last night from a road trip with the partner. Nice. The key issue is that Demon Mama was very eager to jump on people Vosh had fairly petty beefs with. Meanwhile, she is kept silent for years by people who preyed on her own community. Yeah, I haven't kept tabs on every single thing that Demon Mama has weighed in on, so I can't, like, say, oh, well, she did this, but not this. And, yeah, I just don't know every single situation, so I can't comment on it. I feel like you got to be careful when you're trying to question someone about their timing on these things. You're not going to be privy to the whole picture. There will always be some convenient element to it because humans are good at finding what they're looking for. Yeah, I knew about Poppy and Xena's, like, predatory behavior for months and months before I made a video about it, because we were working on putting together all the data. You know, we were putting together all the information. Like, Erin Green is, like, she's a Twitch streamer who, if you don't know about her, then, like, obviously she doesn't have a huge amount of influence in the community. She still goes by Erin Green, even though she is, like, understood to... Basically, she was 21 years old and started a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old. And then they were in a long-term relationship, and at some point, the other partner, like, the younger one, was like, oh, hey, you groomed me into a relationship that's fucked up, and also your behavior still to this day is manipulative and fucked up. So that's what happened with that, basically, long story short. I usually leave when you start doing real news, TBH, because I'm going to watch the vids no matter what. Appreciate you. My understanding is covering drama stuff burned Demon Mama out a year or so ago, so she stepped back from it some time ago and doesn't usually get involved unless she feels there's a good reason to now. Right. And, you know, there is something to be said about starting a beef with another streamer whose audience is also going to get involved, you know? Because there was the whole Riley Grace Rochong thing a few years back, which ended up getting, like, Demon Mama's partner involved, and so Demon Mama was doing a lot behind the scenes to make sure that her partner was okay, and it was, like, this huge inter-community drama, like, several different communities. So, yeah. Sylvester says, Lux, while away, huh, I hope nothing important happens until I get back. Right. Mostly the title is referring to the Olympics and how, like, you know, the internet has blown up over these allegedly trans athletes at the Olympics. James Somerton was something else, like, Your Honor, please find me guilty. I'm gonna plead not guilty, but everything else I do is gonna scream guilty. Oh, gosh. I didn't know if there was some drama with Lance and the serfs. That is not something that I am aware of. But like, yeah, I can't be around for everything. I'm following politics and I'm kind of keeping tabs on what's going on in the community. And I've got like the fun stuff that I'm keeping like the House of the Dragon stuff that I'm watching and keeping tabs on. And like, I'm learning about pistols because I think those are cool now. And, you know, then I've got like everything happening offline where, you know, I'm trying to prepare to move. And I'm like, oh, okay, I need to get rid of this thing and see if I know anyone who wants to take this thing before we move. Are we talking about Xan and Demon Mama drama? A little bit, yeah. Conversation is kind of flowing around, but yes, right now we're kind of talking about the whole Demon Mama thing. People taking issue with her, like, handling of this situation, or, like, the fact that she took a long time to say anything about it or whatever. Byron says, my main point here is that the main takeaway here is that if you're upset at someone over a pattern of behavior, remember that you are a pattern recognition machine that can easily give false positives, and you should check yourself when you think you're seeing something. True. For what it's worth, all the people in my rural town who are typically conservative/centrist find the whole right-wing attack on the Algerian boxer really fucking stupid. I've not been a Xan fan for a hot minute. Yeah. I don't really watch other streamers very much. I've, like, tried to be friendly with Xan before, and it's just clear that he's not really interested in being friends with anyone. Which Song of Ice and Fire books does House of the Dragon adapt? House of the Dragon is adapting the book Fire and Blood, which is, like, I don't want to get on a whole thing about it because I know most of you don't fucking care, but it's a history book, quote unquote, you know, obviously it's fiction, but it's a history book written by the perspective of two maesters and one jester or fool who are giving different accounts of the events that happened through various parts of Targaryen history. So basically they're taking a book that's kind of like, and then Daemon went to Harrenhal, and they're turning it into like, okay, well, but what dialogue happened? What characters were there? You know, they're taking like one sentence and making it like multiple episodes because it's just very broad, the book in this case. And there's an unreliable narrator aspect to it because there are three different people telling the story, and even those three people have a different account sometimes. So the show is supposed to be like, oh, this is what actually happened, or, you know, the maesters wouldn't have written about this because it was a private conversation. Oh my god, are we at 100 likes right now? Embrace the ignorance on streamer drama. Hug the grass. Strawberry Estrogen. Did I see you in Demon Mama's chat the other night? Strawberry Estrogen says, nice, I want to get a pistol. I'm thinking I'm going to get a Ruger MK4. It's a 22 caliber. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking about that Glock 19. I don't know that I'm going to actually get one because of the whole trying to save up money to move thing, but I really, 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 really want one. Might go to the store and, like, go to a gun shop and have them show me around a little bit, you know? A good, well-thought-out and genuine response to something often takes time to put together. Never understood people demanding instant responses from others. Yeah, everything moves so fast on the internet. Like, I kind of get it, you know? I feel like if I don't address something within the first couple of weeks of it happening, then it's like there's almost no point to talking about it because everything moves so fast, you know? But, you know, I don't know, when it's a big thing, and especially with, you know, Poppy and Xena, I made like a 2.5-hour video covering them because it was an ongoing pattern of behavior. And the point of the video was that I wanted to establish, like, without any question, look at all of these different instances of this repeated behavior and tie it together in a I guess, a sort of narrative, basically, to show, okay, well, if Poppy is flirting with people who are barely adults and, you know, comporting herself as an expert in the mental health stuff and saying, yes, I choose to make friends through the channel and through the Discord server. And also, friendship to me means maybe I'll fly you out to my house so that I can have sex with you. Like, yeah, it's a pattern of behavior where you're using your influence as a community leader to prey on vulnerable, much younger trans women, you know? Like, so I felt like it was worth it to go in deep and really establish the, you know, the wrongful pattern of behavior. I wonder if the speed of things on the internet impacts the overall pace of life for folks, like trying to move things outside the internet at internet paces. I feel like my life is very slow compared to the internet. You know, like I feel like there's a huge contrast, especially when you're doing things like growing a garden. Like I have a garden right now, community garden plot. There's my little tiny plot, which is not doing very well. And then there's like a community area that where like everybody is supposed to contribute to those and everybody can harvest from those. And yeah, so like there's nothing that makes you like check yourself like having a plant grow and you feeling like, oh, well, I just had a giant harvest of jalapenos last week, and you go back and there's, you know, maybe like 3 jalapenos that you don't feel like you want to harvest yet. And it's like, well, yeah, like everything outside the internet moves so slowly and it kind of feels good, you know? Like I'm moving and it's still 5 months away and it feels like it's crazy how slow that is, but it's good to have like a lot of time to plan. How close to your GoFundMe goal are you? Right now, the goal is set at 10,000 because there's a lot of extra shit that is going to be needed. Like, as a stretch goal, you know, if we move into a place that has washer dryer hookups but doesn't have a washer dryer, I might have to get fucking that. My partner is trying to get work as an hourly employee, but if he can't, then he will have to be a subcontractor and buy his own power tools. So right now it's at like 7,300, something like that, like some insanely high amount that I wasn't really expecting to get to. Yeah, like, so we're at a point now where it's like, this is more than enough to help us. And if we get more at this point, that would be incredible. Obviously, we're still going to be saving up money and shit as well. And I'm just realizing that a lot of my initial estimates were like really, really, really low. And that was kind of the intention. Was I was like, I don't want to ask for too much. But, you know, we still have like 5 months. So if people want to continue to donate, I'm going to let them do that. Finally found my glasses in between the wall and my bed. Be careful. YouTube really hates the boomstick comments. Yes on Glock 19, no on a 22. Yes on early lessons and practice with the 22. Yeah, I mean, I've shot a 22 rifle before, and I have actually shot a 9mm. I don't know what kind of gun it was before, but yeah, I'm familiar with them conceptually. And like, I work out, okay? So I'm not really that worried about like recoil and shit. And there are gun ranges, so I can practice. Yeah, unfortunately, the internet is our window to many things that affect our lives, so we can't just log off. I use Twitter to gauge what people are talking about, because Twitter to me has always been like, this is the lifeblood of popular opinion, and it's how you get information without the spin that mainstream news will put on it. You know, like, it's interesting to me that on Twitter, at least my Twitter, people are talking about Kamala and her VP picks and trying to hold her to task for Israel Palestine and stuff. And then I go to the gym and there's CNN on the TV and they're still talking about the goddamn assassination attempt. You know, it's like, it's so dramatically different what the news chooses to focus on versus what's on, like, what's actually on people's minds in the public opinion sense. Has the Keffel situation made it harder to advertise the GoFundMe given the shit she got up to with hers? I haven't noticed anything where, like, I haven't seen any criticism where people are like, oh, this is just like Keffel's. Like, I'm not going to pretend like, oh, I'm gonna do a lawsuit. I'm gonna sue the state of Kansas before I move. Like, no, this is for me to move and for me to, like, replace my furniture when I get to the place that I'm moving to, you know, like, if people want to donate beyond the goal, like, I set the goal to 10,000, and if it gets to 10,000, I'm not going to increase the goal again. People can still donate, but I'm not going to increase it again. Don't want to ask for too much, except a part of inflation making everything suck is that everyone needs to ask for more than usual. Right. And moving to somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, like, oh, okay, so the first month's rent is $2,000, and also the security deposit is $2,000, and there's a pet fee for $500. Like, that on its own is almost $5,000 just to get into an apartment. I'm at 1K of 5K on mine. Yes. And I was thinking, like, what is an appropriate amount for me to donate considering, like, my personal finances. So, but I would like to donate to yours, Mama, and I'll keep sharing it whenever I see it on the timeline. Late and waiting for pizza delivery. What are we talking about? We're kind of having a general politics conversation right now. Talking about CNN and the news and intra-community drama, like Zan and Demon Mama stuff, and the fact that I really want a Glock 19, you know. Remember when Elon was upset that Twitter was putting its thumb on the scale, so he bought it and started putting his thumb on the scale the other way? Neither do I, because he clearly bought it out of hate for his daughter. I know. Specifically to get rid of the woke mind virus that he felt was spreading on Twitter. The fact that CNN is still talking about the assassination attempt has my conspiracy brain running really hard, like they're actively campaigning for Trump by doing that. Oh, I agree. Like, have we not learned? Have we not learned? No, but I still want to, Mama. Like, you know, I feel like yours should be higher than it is. But yeah, did we not learn enough in 2016 giving Trump a bunch of free airtime? Red areas always have cheaper rent because nobody wants to live there. Yeah. Although, it's insane, like, looking at rents near my area, like in Kansas City, the fact that, like, places here are starting to charge, like, so I'm not going to compare to Portland or Seattle proper, but, like, areas outside of there in Oregon and Washington, like, places in Kansas are trying to charge as much as I'm looking at places in the PNW, which is, like, insane to me. Like, you realize that the fucking minimum wage in Kansas is still $7.25, and y'all are trying to charge, like, $2,000 a month for 900 square feet? Like, what is wrong with you? Which is boops my nose. No, how dare you? Welcome to the website, though. Yeah, Trump wants attention very badly, and we gotta stop giving it to him. Normally, they have to pay for advertisement. But no. But no. Keffels is a prototype grifter. The dictionary definition of what a grifter does, it's inserting themselves into a burning issue / trend for personal gain and without any genuine intent or interest. Although granted, in the large scale of the grifts of the internet, she's small beans. The entirety of, quote, centrist and far-right internet is a grift. Yeah, like, it seems... So I think that part of the reason why people are so upset about Keffels is it's one thing if right-wing grifters are... It's one thing if Alex Jones is grifting by selling brain pills. You know, I think it feels so much more personal that Keffels ran a GoFundMe based on the idea that she had been swatted and that she was discriminated against for being trans. And then she was like, I'm going to do a lawsuit. I'm going to sue the city of London to make sure that this doesn't happen to any more trans people ever again. And then a bunch of trans people who collectively don't have very much money, like people who don't have money, pitched in $5 to help her move to somewhere safe and to help her with her lawsuit. She never intended to do any of that shit, though. You know, she started the GoFundMe and said in there that she needed to recoup her losses on equipment, and the police had already returned all of her equipment. You know, I think that's what makes it feel so much more intense. And yeah, it hits closer to home, exactly. But you're right that she is a small-time grifter in the community of grifters. I mean, fucking Chloe Cole makes $200,000 a year grifting on her, like, anti-trans bullshit. You know what I mean? So even just within the trans group, we have bigger grifter problems than just Keffels. Grifters on the left feels worse because we trust each other more. Yeah. A bunch of uni friends and I have the running half joke of, so when are we starting the commune? Whenever we talk about living situations and shit being expensive. I think that, you know, a group of trans people could easily buy a couple acres and maybe get some tiny house sheds and make it fucking work. I have no interest in living in a collective like that because, holy shit, don't tell me where to build the greenhouse. I don't want your opinion, you know? I'm a little selfish in that way. Yeah, I saw that Mars Falcon. I was thinking about covering that today. Does anyone else ever feel crazy when you look at all these things and then these numbers and realize any billionaire could just decide to solve all these problems and they don't? Yeah. It makes me feel like a crazy person, you know? Like if I was ever making 6 figures, I feel like I would personally, like, not just build a homeless shelter, but like build a program that gets people back on their feet, you know? And it's crazy that so-called liberal progressive areas in this country don't put resources toward that, you know? Like they might start a homeless shelter, but then it closes down or then it moves. And that doesn't help people get back on their feet. Right? You just don't get that sort of money by being selfless. That's the problem. I don't know how to describe wanting to live in a co-op that doesn't sound like I want to start a cult. Yeah, fair enough. I like the commie anarcho commune idea, but I'm also antisocial. Can I be the hermit in the commune? You just go, you can be the person who, like, sleeps with the sheep. You'll be the shepherd. Becoming a billionaire in the first place requires a pathological selfishness and greed that enables you to exploit people for all they're worth. I know. I don't have to be a billionaire in order to make the kind of impact that a billionaire could make. Did I say anything about hierarchy? Having thousands of dollars that you use to help homeless people is just a band-aid solution because capitalism is the root cause. Okay, well, okay, so instead, what I'll do is, and I'm joking here, but instead, what I'll do is I'll go to all the homeless people and I'll give them an AK-47, and then they can overturn the capitalism. You know what I mean? Like, help is help. Yeah, we're still chilling, monkey. What's up? I don't even think I have like my notes together enough to do proper segments today. I was just like, let's talk about stuff off the cuff. Let's do it. Bro, just $100,000 could change the lives of so many here at once, especially on the reservations. Yeah. What if it was like Mr. Beast, except not a scam? I hope my wife and I can get ahead on enough things because this bamboo idea as a cash crop is super appealing. Hopefully I could buy a few more acres inland and then make another plantation, start a lifestyle school that teaches skills and lifestyle options for living with little to no means, so you're always prepared. Yeah, I'm so excited to read these books that I got. Like, this is an enormous book called The Encyclopedia of Country Living. Like, hey, how to give birth alone, how to trim your fucking trees, how to food preservation. It's like all kinds of great shit. With 100,000, I could get caught up on my child support and start my dream. Yeah. Hell, even $300 could completely change my life and get me debt free. Yeah. Am I the only person who's just like, I have no intention of paying my medical debt? I'm just like, okay. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, I'm so warm. I might need to take off the hoodie. Oh, it's toasty. Ooh, it's merch though. Wow. It only costs $35, but it's really high quality. Get one. Link in the description. Passive income is the best, y'all. No, it's actually too warm. I do have to take it off. Wow, I immediately am like, wow, I cannot read. I mean, I can, but it's such a struggle. Ugh. Okay. No. No, I just was surprised that it's like right in the first chapter of the book, like how to give birth alone. I was like, wow. I just got a birth control implant thing in my arm. Meet. Hang it on the recurve? No, I'm not gonna hang it on the recurve. My special baby boy. What genuinely scares me a lot is watching so much labor getting replaced with automation as climate change only continues. Only to see these billionaires and world governments fully comprehend the problem and then not even seem all that anxious about it. Right, yeah, like what's gonna happen when you fully automate everything and people can't make money anymore because we don't do universal basic income. Like, there's just so much. I know I do need to, like, hang the hoodie somewhere. I just today ordered a tank top with my logo on it, so I will be able to, like, wear the tank top just on its own. Sun's out, guns out, censored. I think someone may have donated to the GoFundMe during the stream. Yeah, so let me add that. I'm actually going to add that GoFundMe donation, bringing us up to 65 for today. Yas, queen. Later, mama. Have fun. I'm planning to hopefully move to the US from the UK to live with my girlfriend and her partner I know it's not exactly an upgrade, but I'd rather live with people I love than just survive-ish alone. Totally, totally fair. I want Luxander tank top. It only costs like 25 bucks. Are you also getting jacked for an upcoming role in a Hulu series? I mean, I wish, I guess. But no, I'm not getting jacked for any particular reason. It's just because I want to. Then you will also have a massive influx of people moving due to climate change into towns that can't support them. Yeah, this is part of the thing, is like I'm moving to a part of the Pacific Northwest where I will be able to get a little chunk of land. Like I specifically don't want to live in Seattle because more and more people are going to continue moving there. And I'm just not interested in dealing with like the fact that it's going to be harder and harder to get enough space away from others. Yeah, let me see if I can find Mama Mephistopheles' thing. Oh my god, why? Oh my god, why did that link not work? I'm trying to find the link to Mama Mephistopheles' GoFundMe, but I can't find it right now. I swear to god. I'm back in January. I swear to god, she posted it super recently. And the GoFundMe link in her bio did not work. Interesting. I don't know why Twitter's being so weird. Nah, the link's not working. Dang. Your youngest Horty is watching away. You will put them to sleep before too long. It's funny to me how many people are trying to leave where I live right now, considering it's one of the Goldilocks zones for climate change over the next 50 to 100 years. Yeah. Next to the coast in Oregon is incredible. Thank you, Lord Byron. Wait, what do you mean? Fortnite? Fortnite said it's not crazy to me that it exists. What's crazy is that a channel of Zan's size does it. Oh, are you way behind or something? Oops. It happens. Water. When does Twitter ever work, right? Water is so good for you, babes. Make sure to drink water. Ooh, I still have coffee. Oh, there's a gnat in it. Get out of there. Man, come on. Oh, it's still alive, too. I just killed it. Dead. Stupid gnats landing in my coffee. I deserve a gnatless coffee. Season finale of House of the Dragon tomorrow. Hype. I know that not very many of you care, though, so I'm not going to go on it for very long, but, you know. Bugs is protein. Yeah, but I don't want to... I don't want solids in my liquids. You know what I mean? I do not like pulpy orange juice. Not a fan. No solids in my liquids, thank you. No, your second can of Monster does not count. It's a diuretic. Never again after season 8. Well, I mean, it's a totally different creative group that specifically don't want to do like Game of Thrones Redux. And I would say at first it has a familiar feel to Game of Thrones because it wanted to like tie itself into the universe, but beyond that, it's very different. But yeah, I mean, fuck Dan and Dave. See, the thing is, people get so twisted up about, oh, Game of Thrones sucked at the end, and so I don't want to watch House of the Dragon. Like, be pissed off at Dan and Dave and don't watch any of their stuff, but like with a whole completely different creative team. Like, it's not their fault that Dan and Dave did a bad job. They don't have anything to do with them. My wife loves that chunky water. Gross. It does have Doctor Who in it, that's true. Why does my voice hurt so much? Like, my throat hurts. It's only been an hour. Ooh, I think this means that we finally get to see Abigail Thorne, because she's in season 2 and there's only one episode left, which means this episode has Abigail Thorne in it. Hype. Get hype. Women run the show in Hot D. So the showrunner, Ryan Condal, is a man, but there are frequently female directors and female writers do kind of have final say on what the female characters do, which is cool. Exactly, Mars. She was in the trailer. Oh, yeah. So I never watched the end. I never watched the next week on House of the Dragon. I never watched that because I already know too much about what's going to happen just from watching a bunch of YouTubers talk about it. Time to gargle olive oil like professional beatboxers. I found out recently that olive oil by itself is really gross. But you mix it with some vinegar and then it's amazing dressing, and or you cook your chicken in it and then it's delicious, you know. But olive oil raw by itself is not good. Maybe I mean, yes, I did buy extremely cheap olive oil. Yeah, I don't like watching episode previews. Like, I already vaguely know how certain characters are going to die from the books, so I'm like, I don't need to know anything about what's going to happen next episode. Yeah, Ox says random subject, but I feel like I can't be defensive of astrology people without immediately getting pinged as also being some lunatic who replaces medicine with herbs and crystals, when all I'm saying is I haven't seen any genocides enacted in the name of the superior zodiac sign. I do think that the hatred toward astrology fits into the same kind of thing as like hatred toward Twilight. And like, I think it's something that mainstream culture bashes because of its association with women and queer people. Speaking of things we hate, Crunchyroll deleted all comments because of homophobes. Black people also super into astrology. Did not know that. I know 69 likes flew us by completely. The hatred of astrology is indeed mostly misogyny. However, astrology is still fundamentally absurd, though, as pointed out, relatively harmless. Yeah, I am not personally, like, into it, astrology, but I'm also, like, I don't care. Like, I probably wouldn't date someone or be close friends with somebody who was super into it. But yeah, I don't have to care. I do personally think astrology is annoying, and I have seen it do actual damage, but yes, it's not in the same tier as Christianity in terms of the actual damage it does. Yeah, I think that there is a risk if you're like interviewing another queer person to see if you want them to be your roommate and you find out that they're a Scorpio and then you decline to give them a place to live, you know? I think tarot is fun. I don't really believe in it, but like tarot is fun. It's enjoyable sometimes. I know you can't see it because I can't get my fucking microphone arm to stay in the place that I want it to be. My last partner was super into astrology and it was annoying. This is because you're an Aquarius. No, this is because you pissed me off. I think if you're doing weird metaphysical beliefs for fun, then it's not a big deal. But if it starts like impacting your actual decisions in life, like I might ask my tarot cards about something, but I'm not like gonna change my entire life trajectory around what they say. It's like it's all an interpretive thing anyway. If I get a set of cards that I don't like, I reshuffle the cards and I draw another set, you know? Excuse me. Lady Domino, welcome in. Not the biggest fan of astrology, however, use of herbs and crystals actually have healing properties and such. Crystals don't. I mean, they don't. But I mean, herbs, you know, I actually have, I have this book called The Herbal Medicine Maker's Handbook because all of the medicines that we have basically are you just take herbs and then you compound them, basically. You concentrate them. And so, like, yeah, there are some people who can't take aspirin because it upsets their stomach. But if you get some of the, I think it's a tree bark that aspirin is made out of, you can like chew the tree bark and it'll have like not as strong of an impact and it won't hurt your stomach in the same way. So like you can use medicine, like you can use herbs as a form of medicine. It's just not going to be as effective. I love that I just have this like growing survival shelf over here with like a foraging book and a mushroom book and a wild grasses of Kansas book, and yeah, I've got a nice little collection of books started. Aspirin's made from willow bark, yeah. Couldn't remember what the tree was. There are also content creators who prey on young people who are into astrology and will grift with that. Totally respect individuals who are into it, but it can be used to manipulate, just like most beliefs. I think just like most beliefs. Yeah, that's accurate. That's true. By the way, hype for there being 160 people in here. I appreciate you hanging out. You know, this is just the hanging out part of the show. We were going to talk about the Olympics today. That's the Olympics is the reason that the title is that everything exploded. In a box, thank you so much. $10 dono says stepping away for a moment and selfishly using your dono meter as a bookmark. Well, glad that is helpful. Brings us up to 75 for today. Remember, everybody, if we get to $100 on the stream donations, then I will show off my flex muscles biceps, which I've been working hardcore. Fen is here, so you'll appreciate. I mean, I already told you in the Discord chat, but like, I have changed my upper body routine. So now I do lat pull downs, and then I do overhead press. Actually, I did change things again. Because I used to do chest press, but I don't actually want to do chest press because I don't want to have a big chest. Muscles anyway. So I do lat pull downs, I do overhead press, I do cable row, like row, pulling rows for my back. And then I decided to do lateral arm raises with weights because that's supposed to help. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like, my shoulder is pretty big down here, but right here, it's like really small. And I really want to like round that out a bit. So lateral raises apparently can help with that. And then I do bicep curls at the end. So biceps. Censored. I like crystals because they are shiny and I am part goblin. Oh yeah, I mean I have a piece of garnet over here, which just kind of looks black, but then you get it into the sunlight and you can see that it's red, and it's cool. But it's just because it's cool. Cable RAR is true. Standing press is also good for the upper shoulder. Which direction do you push for a standing press? Because, like, when I do overhead press, that's me standing. I'm like, I start down here with a bar and then I push up. I dislike the nationalist nonsense that is the Olympics. I feel like it used to be a lot worse with the nationalism, and that now it's a little bit more like community-oriented. Obviously, the competition is still based on, like, who comes from where, but I don't know. I kind of like it. If you fall through a time portal to the year 1600, you can't be a wizard knowing how to use technology. You gotta get on that herbal medicine lore. True. You have to explain what standing presses mean. Spam lateral raises for the W. Thank you, Fen. Good to know. I saw people on Reddit saying that they had way more growth doing lateral raises than they did with overhead press, but I'm still gonna do overhead press. I have a crystal ball made of quartz, but I use it to not look into the future. It's a no-looking ball. No looking. The opposite of a pull-up. Okay, yeah, no, that's what I do. That's when I say overhead press, that's what I mean. I mean, I'm like standing there with thing and I push up. Overhead press. Standing press, I guess. Yeah, standing presses are supposed to be good for the triceps. I'm gonna rotate things out in a few months and I'll start doing like dips and stuff. But anyway, workout content, always fun. I think if I make any workout content, it's gonna go on the second channel, which is at One Oasis Left. If you didn't know, I have a second channel. I don't post on there nearly as much as I should, but you know, that's okay. Oh my goodness. Where do I even start with this Olympics thing? Like Imani Khalif? So, okay, there's an article from the AP News. We can start there, I guess. Let's find a J.K. Rowling. What does she have to say about it? By the way, I was just wondering, what does Dohairas mean? It's High Valyrian. It means obey, basically. And so one of the characters in House of the Dragon, I mean, basically anytime you're trying to get a dragon to do something, saying Dohairas is like saying, fucking do it, like listen to me. So like one of the characters is telling the dragon like, be calm, and then the dragon is like not quite listening. So then there's like Dohairas, which like means obey, like listen, do what I said, be calm. And I love the character who had the strong Dohairas line this past episode 7. So yeah. Simone Biles deserves some credit for changing the narrative on sportsmanship and what it means. She has dominated gymnastics for a long time now and simultaneously has fought for equality and camaraderie in your sport with others around the world. IDK, she's a goat. Yeah, I like Simone Biles. It is vaguely horny. Yeah, it is. Because I like Emma Darcy a lot. Yeah, like Valar Dohairas means like all men must serve. It's hard to watch Emma Darcy forcefully saying Dohairas without being like, wow, please tell me what to do. I love that Simone Biles is like, I'm not the next Michael Phelps or the next Usain Bolt. I'm the first Simone Biles. And then when people are like, I don't know, she's like, no, I'm the best in the world. Like that's not gas. Like I'm literally on paper the best gymnast in the world. Look at the record. Like, yeah, you deserve that. She deserves that. Yeah, it works on all kinds of dragons. Is this the BDSM segment? No. Nuh-uh, I would never do such a thing. No shade on Emilia Clarke, but fucking Daenerys sucks compared to Rhaenyra. Anyway, I said what I said. Okay, I'm trying to get some links together about fucking Imani Khalif, and I want to find what J.K. Rowling said about it. She's probably said a million things about it, honestly, because she can't shut the fuck up. Okay, cool. There's one. What about Joe Rogan? What did Joe Rogan say? Oh my god, I typed Joe Organ because my fingers got away from me. Hey, Gayfesh. We've just been chatting about all kinds of stuff. So I'm kind of just now starting to get my notes together to talk about the Olympics because that's like the main story for today. But yeah, we've been talking about all kinds of stuff. Yeah, J.K. Rowling went off for a few hours. She is gross. It's true. I liked anti-slavery Daenerys, but I am anti-monarchist and anti-burning the small folk at my core. True. I saw Logan Paul threw his dumbass hat into the ring. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to find any specific Joe Rogan thing. I know I saw like Riley Gaines said something about this. Because, you know, she's an intelligent human being. Oh, Gayfesh, it has to be tomorrow. Or no, tonight. Sorry, that Abigail Thorne is going to be in the show, right? Because she said she was going to be in season 2, so it has to be tonight. My take on the Olympics is that trans men have an unfair advantage over cis men in pole vaulting. Did you see that guy clipped the bar with his dong? It looked like it smushed his nuts, like, intensely. So, yeah, true. There's an advantage. Oh, it's that Joe Rogan retweeted this. He retweeted Riley Gaines, who is a dumb person. I also shared something on Twitter, or sorry, on Facebook, I think, that was like, you're a man if this, and you're a woman if that, and just like laying bare all the contradictions in conservative gender ideology. Gymnasts are gonna start tucking after that ball smush. Yeah, no fucking kidding. Fuck Riley Gaines. She has no real beliefs. She's only in it for the money. That's what we have been saying about all of these people. Like, no real beliefs, just in it for the money. Blair White, Keffels, fucking Riley Gaines, Chloe Cole. Like, none of these people have any ethics at all. Excuse me. Ooh. Remember, donations to the GoFundMe will count toward the stream goal. And I will flex. I will show off my biceps. But you can't see them now. Censored bars. Yeah, conservatives don't have ideology. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Oh yeah, the No Kings law, the No Kings Act that's being proposed. Oh my god, my face. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about it today, but it's cool that Congress is trying to pass a bill in the Senate to basically say that the president, in fact, is not above the law. Which could, of course, get challenged and work its way up to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court would be like, well, you don't need to do this. You can't do this. Listen, I won't tolerate this kind of slander toward monarch butterflies. It feels greedy at this point, but if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Can we get to 150 likes really quick? That would be cool. I want to get to a point where we casually have more viewers. And, like, this is a great show for that. We casually have had, like, 150 viewers for a while. So the more likes equals the more viewers. That's how it works. It's always manlets on HGH and with surgically manufactured chins and plastic bimbos who rail against gender-affirming treatments. You know, the cis people who have taken it all, no questions asked. I've said it a million times. It's because cis people's gender dysphoria is normalized while trans people's gender dysphoria is pathologized. You know that the pushback over Biden's proposed reforms is entirely partisan when people are like, he only wants the Supreme Court to have ethics guidelines because he's losing, teehee. I hate conservatives so much. I'm like, I can't live in a world with you people, so I'm just gonna exit. I'm just gonna go create a little fucking homestead and stop talking to anybody. I don't want to be around any of you. Did I just touch my glasses a bunch? Oh my gosh. They're so dusty. Probably need to clean my glasses real quick. Conspiracy brain thought Gamergate literally did nothing but tell the billionaire weirdos who to fund. Fucking true. Cleaning your glasses is a fun thing to do. Not really. Like, god dang, I gotta do it again. It's better. It's better, I guess. Why are we doing Metallica all of a sudden? Talking about cis people's gender affirmation has done the most in getting people to understand me, TBH. Right. Yeah, that's the problem, is like we can't treat trans people like we are having a fundamentally alien experience. That's never gonna work. It's never gonna make, like, that's the problem, is that cis people think, oh, trans people are fundamentally different and they're having this fundamentally, like, this fundamentally weird experience that I can't empathize with at all. Like, it's not, that's not the way to go. Less Metallica, more Gojira in honor of the Paris Olympics. Yep, true. Okay, I think I might take a quick step away to use the restroom and rest my voice for a second. And then when I get back, we will launch into the Olympics. We'll start talking about the Olympics. So, oh hey, we hit 150 likes. Nice. Cool. Okay. We are having the same experience through a different lens. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I will be back momentarily. If you go anywhere, I'll cry. So don't go anywhere, all right? See you soon. Hey, like 20 of you left. That's not allowed. Thank you, Charlotte, for the gifted tier 1 sub to Actually a Fungus. Appreciate you. That brings us up to $80 for today's show. If we get 20 more dollars, I will show off the guns. Oh, gosh. Come back to me, chat. Come back. I miss you. Yes, some of you are still here. That's true. Exactly. Toharas, everyone. Likiri. Okay, chill out. Oh, good gracious. What happened this week? I look away for 1 second. I come back. I'm ready to do the show. And the entire internet seems to be freaking out to varying degrees about some allegedly trans or allegedly intersex Olympic athletes, right? I don't even know that I would have known that the Olympics was happening if it weren't for the fact that there's all this kerfuffle about it. Charlotte, thank you so much for the $20 dono. Says, well, fuck, fine. Okay, we'll pause. We'll wait. Guys, stop talking to me about the audio. I can't boost my audio anymore. I know that the YouTube ads are really loud. My audio is perfect and I can't change it anyway. So, no, you're good, Charlotte. It's fine. I enjoy having the very beginning of the show interrupted. It's cool. Like the very beginning of the segment. She is confirmed intersex according to Aaron Reed. I will open up Aaron's thing, but I thought that it was like that claim was made by a not accredited boxing organization. Anyway, oh, we're working on the guns. Working on the guns. I feel like they're bigger, which they kind of shouldn't be because I'm doing a cut right now, or at least I'm trying to do a cut. So, anyway. Doing my best. Thank you for the donos. Appreciate you. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Okay. Can you make your audio a little worse for me? Yeah, I would love to. I mean, there's been a number of things that people are complaining about with this Olympics. You know, there was like the opening ceremonies that had this, what people were saying, oh my God, it's the Last Supper. You know, all this controversy over whether this has anything, like, okay, here's a comparison picture. Like, oh yeah, this is supposed to be the Last Supper. But actually, it's like the Feast of Dionysus. Like, it's a Greek thing because the Olympics came from Greece, you know? So that's like where it started. All this annoying crap about the Olympics this year, with a bunch of people basically viewing all culture through their own cultural lens, where, you know, no, like, how can you look at this and think that it's the Last Supper? You know? This is clearly a pagan Bacchanus, is that what it's called? It's clearly a pagan celebration. Anyway, that's only the beginning, right? That is only the beginning. Yeah, it's artsy French shit. I think that's an accurate term for what they were doing. The real kerfuffle has started when we start getting some performance speculation, right? Especially, there's always this issue within women's sports, although there actually is a trans male, I think doing boxing even, who is not on hormones or anything, non-transitioned, playing against women, and people are fine with that. But it's becoming more common and more prevalent now that when women excel, and especially women of color, when women of color excel at sports, there's like speculation that they are not real women. Like, oh, this one must be trans, or oh, this one must be intersex. So that's what at least one boxer is kind of prominently at the center of all of this right now and causing a bunch of people to freak out, basically. She's from Algeria. I think her name is pronounced Imani Khalif. She wins her first Olympic fight because her opponent, Angela Karina, quit. So Imani is from Algeria, which is a country that does not allow trans people. Like, I'm pretty sure it's illegal there to be trans. And Angela Carini is from Italy. And apparently Imani hit her so hard that it caused Karina to, like, quit, effectively. The Italian boxer promptly or abruptly walked away from her Algerian opponent and went to her corner Thursday, abandoning the bout, which is an extremely rare occurrence in Olympic boxing. Carini also didn't shake Khalif's hand after the referee formally raised it, but she cried in the ring after sinking to her knees. Minutes afterward, a still tearful Carini said she quit because of the pain from those opening punches. So, like, in the punching contest, one of these women punched really hard, and the other one just kind of folded completely, you know? And, like, listen, I'm not saying that I would want to box. I don't really want to invite a situation where I get punched in the face. But, you know, can you imagine? Like, we're doing a test to see who can hit the hardest. And we found out that one person can hit harder. And now there's all this, like, international speculation about her gender and her sex status, basically. So, basically, there's a ton of people who are like, she's trans, or at least maybe not saying she's trans, but definitely saying she's a man. Like, we're going to see in this instance that the whole, oh, we clearly have a delineation between male and female. Like, all of that is going to fall apart during the speculation around this issue. Yeah, welcome to the Olympics. You are up against the world's best athletes. Being punched harder than you ever have before might happen there. Yeah, you think maybe that there's a little bit more intensity in the fight when you're literally at the Olympics too. Even if you had fought the same people prior to the Olympics, maybe they're going to give it more during the Olympics. And yeah, if you didn't know this, you're supposed to block the punches and not just, like, take them directly to the face. Anyway, yeah, no kidding that it hurt. So, yeah, now basically the whole concept of binary sex has fallen completely apart. Carini initially treated this like, so the Italian who lost, or who walked away from her fight, she was like really unsportsmanlike in her loss, because she kind of took up, or at least it took her several days to be like, no, she deserved the win. She did a good job. Because at first it's this whole, she's actually a man thing comes up. So Imani Khalif was previously disqualified from the 2023 World Championships after failing an unspecified gender eligibility test. And thus her presence at the Paris Olympics has become a divisive issue. But I guess Carini says that she was not making a political statement and was not refusing to fight Khalif. Carini further said she is not qualified to decide whether Khalif should be allowed to compete. I mean, that's absolutely true. But there was all this speculation around, okay, if Khalif was disqualified from a previous thing, but the organization that she previously was playing for was the IBA, which has been de-recognized by the International Olympic Committee over concerns about their judging and, like, corruption and stuff. So, like, the organization that allegedly we're relying on their testing, their vague testing that they didn't even disclose what the specific disqualification was. Okay, this is the organization that we're trusting when we're, like, questioning whether this woman deserves to be in the Olympics. And we've also seen, like, pictures of Imani as a child, she was assigned female at birth. She grew up as a girl. We don't actually have any evidence of any of these claims that people are making. You know, like people are claiming that she has XY chromosomes, but we don't know that that's true. And anyway, lots of people with XY chromosomes are born phenotypically female and produce female gametes, like they produce eggs, and they have kids, they have babies, they give birth to babies that they grew in their bodies naturally. Like, this is middle school biology. If you're stuck in XXXY, like, do you know anything about the SRY gene? Do you know anything about like the numerous steps of production, like that? Like, well, if the SRY gene is flipped on, then it does this. But if this specific gene that grows testes is flipped off, it does this. Like, there's a great Forrest Valkai video where he goes into it in extreme depth. And I didn't even know that it was that complicated, that, you know, SRY does certain things, but that's not like, it's a gene that's carried on the Y chromosome, but that's not the be all end all. And I think that you can even have SRY if you don't have a Y chromosome. I don't know. There's like a million places in the development of a human being where their sex can come out atypical to what you're expecting. Yeah, Forrest Valkai shout out. And then people are also claiming, oh, she has higher than normal testosterone. But again, we don't have proof of that. But there are tons of people out here saying, oh, well, she's a man. I can't believe you let this man fight in the women's league. What does it mean to be a man? Apparently, being a man means you were assigned female at birth, you have a vagina, you presumably create eggs in your body, but you have slightly higher elevated testosterone and you're not a woman anymore? You're not female anymore? It's like trying to explain genetics to a horse. God, no kidding. But because of this, we have, you know, world-renowned idiot J.K. Rowling going, the idea that those objecting to a male punching a female in the name of sport are objecting because they believe Khalif to be trans is a joke. We object because we saw a male punching a female. So this is racist also, fundamentally, is like one of the things that, because if a white woman had hit harder than anyone ever hit in their life, I don't think there would I don't think we would be seeing this speculation. Yeah, I mean, yes, by that logic, men with low testosterone are women. True. Let's look at because this came up. So let's look at the meme that I've seen going around, because it's really simple, you guys. If you're born with a vagina and you naturally have elevated testosterone levels, that means you're a man. If you have a vagina and you take testosterone supplementary, you're a woman. Okay. But also, if you have a vagina, you'll never be a man. But also, if you have higher testosterone, then you were never a woman. Woman, never yes, man, a vagina, testosterone, no, wasn't elevated. Vagina man. Like, the logic is baffling. It's truly astounding. Yeah, the author who named her black character Kingsley Shacklebolt is racist. Shocker. Yeah, like, if you are born with a vagina and you're taking testosterone because you're a trans man, they're like, well, you're always a woman. You're never going to not be a woman. But if you were born female and you have like polycystic ovarian syndrome and therefore a slightly higher level of testosterone, then I guess you're a man and you can't participate against women. You know? It makes no goddamn sense. And of course you have Riley Gaines, another world-renowned idiot, quote tweeting someone saying like, beating women is now a spectator sport. We've never been more aware as a society of male violence against women. Why are the Olympics allowing this male to enter the boxing ring? Like, have you never seen really yoked out women? Apparently not. But yeah, Riley Gaines comes in saying, imagine training your whole life, getting good enough to earn a spot on the Olympic team, hoping to win an Olympic medal, and then you're told you have to fight a man. That's the tragic reality for these women. Again, Riley Gaines, who tied for 5th place with Leah Thomas. Like, neither of you placed, and you weren't going to place even if Leah wasn't in the race. Anyway. And it's really shit, too, because I think there were like 3 transgender women who were not allowed to participate, or like have been barred from participation because of like not fitting these weird gender requirements. So while there's all this freak out about not even intersex women, because again, we have no proof that Imani Khalif is intersex. A discredited organization claims that she was disqualified because she didn't pass the gender testing, but we don't have any actual evidence. So while there's all this nonsense going around about cisgender women who are assigned female at birth, grew up as women, always have identified as women, joined the sport as women to become world excellent athletes, trans women are not even allowed. Trans women are not even allowed. I think there was one transgender athlete in the entire Olympics this year, and it was a pre-transition trans man boxing other women. I think it was boxing. Also, Imani has been beaten by cisgender women before. So again, even if we were to say, okay, well, she is intersex or she is trans, if you had those advantages, quote unquote, that does not mean that you're always going to win, you know? Because we know that testosterone is not like the leading factor in sports performance, or even going through testosterone puberty is not a leading factor. Like, you know how they actually do some like testosterone testing on these Olympic level athletes? Some of the highest performing male athletes are in the lower range of testosterone, you know? Yeah, I would have gone down as a mediocre loser, but a trans person lost slightly less bad than me, and now I make bank. Yeah, that's Riley Gaines in a nutshell. But this is a means of like racistly policing strong women of color by attacking them fundamentally. And again, like, Imani Khalif is from Algeria, which is a very anti-trans country, and it probably is very anti-intersex as well. She probably isn't pro-trans, you know? And I just want to acknowledge that, like, she probably would be pissed off if a trans woman was in the sport. And she herself is being called into question in this way. And I just want to also say, like, I don't think that me being trans and her being from an anti-trans country and therefore likely influenced by that, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to defend her, because she still doesn't deserve all of this speculation into her personal life and like all of these personal attacks. Again, on an international scale. International. People in the US and in the UK and everywhere around are accusing her of being a man, of being a male, of, you know, inappropriately entering this competition, like saying she didn't deserve to be there. Like, no, she's just one of the best athletes in the world at boxing. And she fucking hits harder than other people. Yeah, this is like one of the highest profile cases of transgender hate affecting a cis woman, because this is what we've said before. When it comes to bathroom bills, when it comes to sports bullshit like this, statistically, in the world, there are more gender non-conforming cisgender women than there are trans women. So the group that is going to be affected the most is cis women. Cis women with short hair, cis women with big muscles. Like, those are the women, the people who are going to be most impacted by these things. Like, ooh, yeah, we're not going to allow you to participate. Like, Castor Semenya is not allowed to participate because she did too fucking good at running, and people got really mad about it. And so they started doing all this genetic testing on her, and now she's not allowed to perform in several types of races. She can perform in some and not others. Yeah, it's about policing femininity, and it's about enforcing femininity according to white women, right? Because, like, by these standards, on average, women of color are quote unquote more masculine if we're basing this on like white women's standards of levels of testosterone or how tall they are or how much muscles that they have. Yeah, Castor Semenya is no more of a freak than Michael Phelps, who doesn't create lactic acid or creates like less than half as much lactic acid and has freakishly long arms, right? This is supposed to be the battle of the freakishly strong and fast people. That's what the whole point of this is. It's like, how far can human beings push it without doping? That's what the Olympics is, basically. How tall can you, like, how high can you jump? How hard can you hit? How accurate can you be? Let's push the extremes of human achievement. And yet, if you're a woman and you exceed the bounds, if you perform to a level of excellence that exceeds expectations, then, and if you're like, specifically if you're a woman of color, then yeah, you get to deal with international speculation, and they might even force you to do genetic testing and stuff. Yeah, exactly, ladies. You're only women if you're conventionally attractive according to Western standards. Sorry, hun. Welcome to the website. Asterisk says it's Olympic level sports. You aren't just fighting a lady boxer, you're fighting the lady boxer. Your average person will never be able to compete at the Olympic level, even if they specifically trained for it from a young age, because you do need to be a genetic freak to be able to compete at the upper echelons of sports. That's the whole point. Yeah. And certain women are celebrated. Like, I've been seeing these posts about Katie Ledecky, who is a white woman from America, who, like, is so good at swimming that, like, all of the other swimmers are still swimming this direction, and then Katie Ledecky has already turned around at the end and is swimming back the other direction. Like, I think I just shared this. Let me see if I can find the post. No, I didn't share it. No. Oh, I don't know where it is. Oh my god. Like, here's one image. Katie Ledecky out here so far in the lead that none of the other athletes are even visible in this picture. She said that she let her mind wander during this race. And a 100, and a 1500 for swimming is a long swim. That's a long time to be just like, you know, going up against Katie Ledecky and knowing that you have no fucking chance. But there's not all this weird speculation on Katie Ledecky. Like, everything is apparently perfectly fine and normal. Like, this is how far she was pulling ahead by like halfway through this race. And so in a 1500, you go back and forth across the Olympic sized pool multiple times. Like, she's so far ahead. But again, because she's a blonde white woman from America, we're not dealing with this level of scrutiny. Did Katie Ledecky's gender get called into question too? Maybe in a previous like a previous competition, but I haven't seen any conversation about this week. Like, we're so focused on Imani and not on Katie Ledecky. Exactly. The Olympics banned women from competing in skeet shooting after a woman won the whole thing in 1992. I thought it was much earlier than that. But then they added a women's league in the 2000s with a lower number of targets. Gender segregation is in sports only exists to preserve male supremacy. If you equal things out with like weight classes, height and weight classes, men slightly overperform in strength and women slightly overperform in stamina. Like people with more estrogen in their bodies, their muscles recover faster. Yeah, I guess Ledecky has been transvestigated in a previous competition, like maybe when everybody was up in arms about Leah Thomas, but not right now. And I guess like part of the difference is that there's like a violence component. Like people are super concerned because it was a allegedly a male punching a female. And maybe that might be why people are more up in arms about Imani Khalif this time as opposed to Katie Ledecky. But Katie Ledecky is like, she pulls it out. She performs at an incredibly high level, and there's just so much less bullshit around it. Like, at least people shut up about it eventually. Yeah, training tends to equalize biological imbalance, if there is any. Yes, and athletic performance by gender has tons of confounding factors like quality of coaching and funding. There was at least one study done that showed that some of the performance differences between men and women can be attributed to a lifetime difference in funding and quality of coaches and quality of equipment. So we would need to desegregate sports today at every level, and then in 20 years, we would start to see higher levels of performance equaling out a little bit. Because like, if you try to say, okay, well, let's take a female athlete versus a male athlete today, like, okay, well, but you can't account now for the fact that the female athletes for the last 20 years have been training in worse conditions. Like, I just think it's funny too, this whole like high level testosterone, low level testosterone thing being like the defining factor. Like Joe Rogan takes testosterone supplementary. Does that mean that he's a female? Like Castor Semenya has a higher level of testosterone, which I guess makes her a male. So if you're a heterosexual male, is it like straight for you to have sex with Joe Rogan, but it's gay for you to have sex with Castor Semenya? Because apparently testosterone level is the thing that defines whether you're male or female. But yeah, women can perform. Cis women can outperform cis men. And in several different instances, female sports have been created after cis women joined against men and beat men. They're like, oh no, we got to get you a different league now for your own protection. Like, no, it's to protect the male ego, really. Androgen insensitivity is also a thing. Yeah, just because you have testosterone in your body doesn't mean it's actually doing anything. And it's worth pointing out that there's all this, controversy around cisgender athletes being able to play against other cisgender athletes, and oh, you should disqualify this person and everything. Meanwhile, Stefan van de Velde, who was convicted of sexually assaulting a 12-year-old child in 2014, is playing at the Olympics. He will be isolated from the other athletes at the Paris Olympics, but he's there performing. And there's not nearly so much controversy around that. Like, someone who actually, like, sexually harmed a child. And it's like ironic because there's all this rhetoric around trans people that we're groomers and we are attacking children, like, and therefore we should be barred from participation. And yet, cisgender men who are actually convicted of assaulting children, like, uncontroversially get to play at the Olympics. Symbolic Noise says, when the Olympics puts athletes against each other, they make sure that their attributes are completely the same. I'm assuming you mean height and weight-wise, so they can compete on the same level, making everything fair. I mean, here's another thing. Sports is not supposed to be fair. We were talking about it earlier. This is a competition of genetic freaks against one another. Like, at the end of the day, sports, like, you can only do so much to make it a level playing field. You're gonna have to disbar the people with the most opportunity for excellence. If you're like, well, you know, oh, in order to play on the women's team, you can only be as tall as 5'7". Like, okay, does that mean that, like, a 5'10" female, like, just never gets to participate? Because you want it to be fair to all of the 5'7" women. Yeah, it's funny how a lot of these people are calling themselves feminists, but they're attacking women, like, and calling them men and males. True, yes, a lot of people have a fantasy that an average man could compete at a high level with Olympic female athletes. I'm not sure what else there is to add on this at this point, you know? It's just really silly, the amount of pearl clutching that happens around. Again, it's like this is the competition of who can hit the hardest. And if someone hits harder and then we have to question whether they actually belong in the competition or not, like, it's really silly. The Man Show documented this. They had an average man called Doug Stanhope fight Tanya Harding. Spoiler alert, he got punched a lot. Yeah. Good grief. I think that might be all I have for this. So I'll go ahead and add it to my notes. Olympic, whatever. What do we say? What do we call this? What is today? The 4th? What is today? Yeah, it's the 4th. Wow, I did it. I guessed correctly the first time. Imani Khalif Olympics Okay. That's how I'm putting that in my notes. Yeah, the movie Lady Ballers premise was like that. The idea that average cis dudes who hadn't played in 20 years could compete with actual athletes, actual female athletes. Hot Pants, welcome to the website. Says, I watched a documentary called The Gray Area about the difficulties masculine women face, and it really sucks. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like warm enough that my heart hurts, and it's fucking annoying, but I am going to take off my thigh-high socks, and maybe that'll help a little bit. 1,500 meter. Oh, man. Maybe this will help a little bit. It sucks. Like, my chest hurts. Can you, excuse me. What is happening? I'm also wearing a skirt, and it's like trapped underneath me. It's not cool. Yeah, let's put Tom from accounting up against an Olympic women's boxer. That feel when Sabrina Ionescu went nearly shot for shot with the greatest three-point shooter of all time at his range, not hers. Yeah, apparently women have a bit of an advantage in shooting. Apparently. Yeah, wow, I think that was trapping a lot of heat. I already feel better. Ooh, absolutely astonishing. Okay, that was so many links that I got to just close. Later, Strawberry Estrogen. Have a good rest of your day. Not gonna lie, I would laugh really hard at a Ben Shapiro segment complaining about a woman boxer having too much testosterone. Why for? Is it because Ben Shapiro has characteristics of low T? Oh, did I miss? I wasn't paying attention earlier. Thank you, Charlotte, for the gifted tier 1 sub to Fought Night. And thank you, John Get Bent, for your tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. That pushes us up to 110 for today. Thank you, thank you. I associate Ben Shapiro with his nasally high voice. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, gosh. Well. Oh, and we've gotten 2 more donations on the GoFundMe. $60 in total, which brings our daily total up to 170. Wow. If we get to 200, I'll flex again. Yawn. Y'all are bullying Ben Shapiro in the chat. Yeah, Super Dr. Hulock, welcome in. I was thinking about covering that today, if possible. I didn't get any links together about it, but, like, there's just been a lot of different conversation around, what's been going on in the UK. Like, I don't know what exactly the story is about these far-right riots that have been going on over there. Ugh. You know, I've still been having a lot of really weird dreams lately, but at least generally speaking, they're less, like, nightmarish. You know what I mean? Lux, I will pay for your move if you go to beat up Ben Shapiro. Oh, no. Oh, you don't know who Ben Shapiro is? Someone in the YouTube chat doesn't know. Oh, man. Don't worry about it. Lightning McQueen 420 says, who's going to tell transphobes that estrogen-based HRT melts male muscle mass? Like, if my ex didn't consistently work out, she'd lose muscle mass super fast. Yeah, so they claim, like, oh, all these advantages from your first time going through puberty. Oh, you have all this bone mass and stuff. It's actually, it must be a disadvantage if testosterone reduces your muscle mass, or sorry, if a lack of testosterone reduces your muscle mass, which it typically does, on like hormones, like obviously trans women are also typically not working out super hard. But yeah, like then you have this much bigger skeleton that you are moving around with less muscle mass. Jesus. Yeah, that's great news that people don't know who Ben Shapiro is. Nature is healing. Do yourself a favor and don't look him up. You could not waterboard me into admitting what Shapiro said about WAP. True. I'd do anything to not know who he is. Person, thank you for the $30 dono. Goodness gracious. You all have been so generous today between website chat and the GoFundMe. I very much appreciate it. And that means that we've gotten to 200 today, which means I'll flex again. Maybe I'll even try to show off my back muscles. I work out my back like almost as much as I work out my arms. Actually, like, yeah, I work out my back even when I don't work out my arms. Ooh. So yeah, I've been doing like some bicep focused stuff. My left arm is so much bigger than my right arm, and it's also because my right arm is further away from the camera, but like arms, my lily white arms. It's hard to see on the screen. Third stream goal, secret third stream goal. The lats. Man, my lats are fucking hard. Like, when I move, listen, y'all, when I move, I'm getting a standing sitting desk. So I'll probably do streams standing, which means I'll be much easier able to turn around and show off the muscles. Looking like Abby from The Last of Us 2. Damn. Listen. And like, yeah, the thing that I'm most excited about right now is that I'm starting to work this part of my shoulders. Like, I want that part of my shoulders to be rounded. Right now, I'm really bony, and then there's this big chunk of muscle right down here, which I'm not even sure what is that is. Like, what is that? Why is this so big and this up here sucks? I don't know. Excuse me. Lats growing is the best feeling ever. Listen, it's like, you're pulling them down. And then also, like, the pulling them forward thing. Man. Yes, muscle mommy. You're giving Clark Kent with the glasses. Yeah. Secret third stream goal. You know, I'll set it. If you guys want to have another Flex Fest, we can do it in another $100. I don't know, man. My back hurts after standing for more than like 2 hours. Is that normal, or is my back unfit? I mean, I think that a lot of people have a hard time standing. There was a post going around recently going like, how do I explain to the neurotypicals that standing is not good, but I can walk for like a couple hours? And I'm like, yeah, that's true though, isn't it? So it might be that I have to do standing for some part of it and then sitting for the other part. But I feel like anytime I'm going to be at my desk for a long amount of time, I would rather be standing. And then in the evening when I'm relaxing, I'll sit or whatever. You know, like if I go to pull out the crochet, like this is the project that I'm working on right now. I'm making a mandala for my mom. This is what the rest of it looks like. But yeah, if I sit down to do something like that, then sure, yeah. But like, if I'm working, I basically want to try standing if at all possible. Why is one of your biceps bigger than the other one? I don't know. I don't know. And why is it my left arm, which is like not my dominant arm? Super Lux. Lux with an Abby physique would be something. Yeah, let me look her up because I know who you're talking about. Abby, The Last of Us 2. I definitely have a way to go before I'm like this big. But I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad to be that big. Switch arms for a bit. It would be my right arm! Like, that's the dominant hand. And also, it would be this part of my arm. You know? S-Bin Doctor says back pain is usually from tension rather than lack of strength, unless you've got some big ol' weights on the front. Yeah. You gotta, like, stretch after a while, you know? Reach down, touch your toes. It's bigger because archery. I mean, so my left shoulder would be bigger. This is the thing, okay? When you're doing archery, someone asked if there's a bow. At the very beginning of the segment, I ignored you because I was in the middle of a segment. But yes, this is a recurve bow with an attached bow quiver. It's there. So when you pull a bow, you push with your front arm and you pull with your back muscles on your right. So especially if you hold for any period of time, which is not good, don't hold. It gets your shoulder, your whichever arm is holding the bow, it's your shoulder, and whatever arm is pulling the string, that's your back. Like, that's where you get hit in the lats. So I regularly take stretch breaks at work because otherwise I feel like my muscles are in knots. Yeah, you'll notice that I move around a lot. Like, I like sit on my feet and then I put my feet down, and yeah. My wife made herself a quiver out of leather. That's exciting. I have my hip quiver, but it's loud and not good for hunting. But this is for when you go to the archery range. You know, you can just have all 12 of your arrows. And then... Wait, where the fuck is my little hand thingy? What did I do with that? Uh-oh. Hopefully it's on the floor over there. Or maybe it's in my hunting vest. Anyway, and then I have a bow quiver, which is like attached to the bow, and you just kind of stick arrows in there. And they don't move around at all, so it's much better for hunting. Abby is the tallest character in the game. Also, she's taller than Joel. Need to get back into archery before it gets rainy again. Yeah, that's gonna be the struggle, is like, if I live in the Pacific Northwest where it rains like 50% of the year. Yeah, I basically try to use my muscles evenly. Like, this is the thing. This is why I work out. Like, I do the lat pull down, and that works my back evenly. Instead of, like, you know, because I pull mostly with my right. So it's like, I don't want them to be super uneven, even though I'm doing most of the work with my archery with my right side of my back. I'm screwed in the Rapture. I don't think I could hunt stuff without crying, Lamau. That's why you gotta practice now. I'm looking forward to the, sunrise being a little bit later part of the year, because then I can hunt rabbits and not have to wake up at 5:30 in the fucking morning. She made it look more like the ladder. It still goes up on her hip, but the arrows have slots so they don't rattle around. Nice. That's cool. My bow quiver has like a weird, has a weird Native American image on it, so it's like not my favorite. I want to cover it up somehow. So like, it's two separate pieces. This is the top of it, and then the bottom The bottom is down here, and it attaches to the bow limb. So you kind of just like, you just poke the arrow into the foam up here, and then you slide it into the slot like you know, you shove it up in there up top, and then you like pop it in down here. And then yeah, you can carry like, I can carry 4 arrows this way, and then you could have the other arrow in your hand, so you could hypothetically have like 5 arrows walking around with this thing. But yeah, my little 20-pound bow. I want to get new limbs when I get stronger. I want to get new limbs, but like I said, yeah, look at this guy. He's like, that's embossed in there, and I want to like cover it up somehow. Paint a trans flag over it, maybe. It's kind of whatever. I'm hopefully like never gonna see anybody while I'm hunting. There we go. Have you had any backlash from vegans? Oh god, of course I have. It's one of the only videos up on my second channel. It's a video addressing vegans, because every goddamn time I talk about hunting, someone says something to me about being a vegan, and I'm like, listen, vegans, I agree with you that factory farming is bad. I don't think that the solution to that is to not eat any meat at all, period. I don't think that death is inherently a bad thing. Death is an integral part of an ecosystem. That's like fundamental to my pagan beliefs over here. You will note that back here, this is my cat Lucifer's ashes, and on top of that are some rodent bones. Like, death is ever present. It's not just a Halloween thing. You can stain it black. Yeah, that's true. I could stain it black. But yeah, like, I'm personally of the belief that death is an important part of the ecosystem, that death provides vegan backlash is my nickname for Taco Bell. I don't have a problem with vegans, right? Like, I don't have a problem. I think that more veg in your diet is a good thing. I would like to do like vegetarian meals sometimes. Like, and I did that recently. I didn't do a vegan meal because it had eggs, but I made like eggs, tofu, spinach type thing. And you know, it could have been better. It definitely was like, I'm just kind of making shit up. But yeah, like, I think I don't disagree with vegans on the concept of climate change and harm reduction or whatever, but like, I want to have a personal relationship with the meat that I eat. So I want to shoot and kill rabbits. I want to raise my own chickens and kill them, and like maybe occasionally hunt a deer and then have enough meat to like carry you through for like 6 months, you know? All food is dead things. Get over it. Fucking true. Mrs. Welcome to the website, chat. Thank you so much for joining us. 3 minutes behind, but if we're still talking about Abby, I used to think she was a no-med trans queen, but I don't mind if she's a sissy muscle mommy. I think she's supposed to be a sissy muscle mommy. Posted the quiver and feed the dragon. Yes, we should do a feed the dragon segment later. I keep asking vegans what I should do with all the eggs these hens keep leaving. I haven't gotten an answer yet. I mean, you can make scrambled eggs and then feed them back to the chickens. They love that. It's so good for them. It's protein. Yeah, welcome to chat. Thank you. You're basically eating lettuce while it's still alive. So uncivilized. True. Oh, man. So I have a community garden, right? Like, I'm practicing, like, what it's going to be like to do a homestead thing eventually. And so I have a community garden, and I've harvested like a shit ton of red ripe jalapenos, and I made a hot sauce. It's really vinegary hot sauce, but like I still think it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty yummy. And then I also just harvested a bunch of basil, and I made pesto chicken with it, and it was so good. I didn't add pine nuts. Like, I just don't feel like that's an entirely necessary part of pesto. I just did like basil, olive oil, garlic, salt, a little bit of pepper, and I think that was basically it. And yeah, I just coated the chicken with it, and it was so fucking yummy. Oh god, it was yummy. Kitty Tick says, unless we're going to be really good about putting predators back, because hunts barely keep many animals in check at this point. Deer destroy forest when unchecked. Right. Yeah. And like, if there are a bunch of deer or rabbit attacking the food supply near a city, are people who live in that city really going to be keen on introducing wolves back to the ecosystem? You know, right next to where they're raising their children? Think, dumbasses. Like, not any of you. You know what I mean? Like, but like, think about it. In order to make sure that the population of these animals stays in check, if you want to eliminate or reduce hunting, you have to reintroduce natural predators, and then they're gonna eat your kids. You know? I wonder if your pagan beliefs help you with hunting. IDK what my beliefs are, but I doubt there's an afterlife, so I do struggle with the idea of death. I do the paganism thing more as a philosophical thing. I'm an atheist and I don't believe in an afterlife. So like, but I do believe in like the natural cycle of the ecosystem, and therefore like life has meaning in that we imbue it with meaning. So, but like all of this shit happens without human interaction, right? Like the coyotes have to kill and eat rabbits. The rabbits have to kill and eat grass, right? Like it's just part of a natural cycle. So like death can't be a bad thing, and like fungus wouldn't exist without death and decay, you know? So that's like my spiritual beliefs, quote unquote, such as they are that we need death, and that like if an animal dies and provides food, then that animal's life has meaning in that it has participated in the cycle. And rabbits are fucking pests. Like you genuinely have to do population control on rabbits, because yeah, they will eat all kinds of stuff. A friend of mine is married to a park ranger, and the park has a massive issue with deer because there's no predators, and so they do have to hunt regularly to knock the population down. Plus, folks keep feeding the deer fucking Cheetos. Oh no. Excuse me. Oh yeah, it's really difficult to be vegan if you're like allergic to the stuff that's like a replacement. You know, a lot of human beings have trouble digesting soy. So if you try to completely replace meat with those things, like a lot of people can't tolerate it in their diet. Persephone worshipper here, Winter V, says death is an integral part of nature as the spring bloom is. Yes. Like, I feel like you can't truly celebrate life unless you're also able to celebrate death. And that's like, you know, like, yeah, death is part of a cycle. It's part of a process. We have to honor death in a way, you know, and it probably will help you in your life if you keep in mind that death is going to happen, you know? Like, I think, you know, part of what rocks us to our core about death is that we don't think about it before it happens, you know? Like, if you just think, oh, like, you know, my pet is going to be alive forever, you know, if you don't take the time to preemptively prepare, then of course it's going to rock your shit when it finally happens, you know? And it's hard to keep that in mind. But like the moment that your kitten first takes its breath, there is like a predestined path. And I'm not saying like a specific series of events or something, but like it is practically preordained that it will die. Maybe it'll die as a kitten. That happens a lot. Failure to thrive. Or maybe it'll die when it's 25 years old. But like it's an inevitability that you might as well spend the time emotionally and mentally preparing for. And it's harder with people. There's been a couple times where I've been like, okay, I know intellectually, like, my partner is older than I am and he's male, so statistically he's going to die before me. Even if we were the same age, like, statistically he would probably die before me. Um and like, I think it's harder with people that you have this greater investment in, to be like, yeah, someday this person is going to not be here anymore. Um so yeah, but I do think that the more work you do to accept that, like the radical acceptance component of it, it's probably better in the long run, so that when these things happen, you don't freak out. Yeah, I agree, T-Rex. That's exactly what I mean. Pokemon is real. I went to mow my mom's unruly lawn and there was a deer in the tall grass. Yeah. Yes, that's a great quote. Yes, Fennec. This Edward Munch quote says, "From my rotting body flowers shall grow, and I am in them, and that is eternity." Exactly. Exactly. The death positive movement? I've never heard of that. I am inadvertently part of the death positive movement. I don't eat meat that has a high carbon cost, and I encourage everyone to do the same. Yeah. I honestly, like, probably should eat less red meat anyway, because my cholesterol is high. So, uh, and yet we're having meatloaf tonight. I'm still a little messed up by how abruptly an appointment was available to put my previous dog to sleep when he essentially couldn't walk anymore. I have found that vets really get torn up by, like, animals suffering, you know? So even if they need to shuffle things around, if your animal is, like, actively suffering, they will make the time. Like, you can come in basically on the spot, which is, it's weird when you're like, yeah, I totally just paid someone to kill my animal. That's fucking crazy. Um, but I think that they have a really deep emotional care for wanting to prevent animals suffering. So, yeah, I think that's kind of where that's coming from. Hunting probably has the lowest carbon cost. Yeah, for sure. You're not using, like, machines to separate the bones from the meat or whatever. Like, yeah, for sure. I don't like vegans who think a rabbit's life is more meaningful than the carrots. Yeah, fair enough. It was just pretty sudden and there was so much day left. Yeah. With Lucy, because Lucy was dying of heart failure 2 years ago, um, but he was still himself. Not gonna cry. He was still playful, like, he was still cuddly, he was still himself. So we actually waited until like 4 p.m. that last day. Like, we knew that there wasn't anything we could do to extend his life past that point. And yeah, so we did. We waited until basically, like, the vet closes at 5 and we went at 4 and spent the entire day cuddling on the couch watching TV. And he was just, like, pretty much on my lap the entire day. And I cooked some chicken breast and I fed him little pieces of chicken breast. So I can completely understand feeling like they would have taken him at any time during the day, but we knew that we wanted the full amount of time that we could have with him. No one goes into pet care for the money. Yeah, true. Vets are, like, one of the highest suicide rate professions. It's crazy high. If you go hunting for wild chicken tendies, let me know. Are there wild chickens? Are there? I guess I assumed that it was mostly industrialized. If the rabbits weren't such irresponsible stewards of the carrots and bothered to dig them up instead of chewing off their tops. Oh god, yeah, that's frustrating. Yeah, I'm sorry, Lightning Queen. It does get easier eventually, but sometimes it still just hits you like a truck. I'm processing some stuff in trauma therapy right now, and it's like there were like a series of fucked up events that kind of happened all one after the other, and then they've kind of like over the past couple years they've gotten really entwined with each other. So like I'm trying to deal with my trauma around my IUD placement, but wrapped up in that is that like my cat was dead. So yeah, sometimes it hits you in unexpected ways. There are feral chickens in Hawaii. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, when parents die, it's a whole fucking thing. Especially if you have a good relationship with your parents, you know? I don't think I'm gonna be like, I'll probably be like more complicated feelings when my dad dies, but when my mom dies, I'm gonna be like, okay, great. Like, whatever, dude. That's because she was very abusive, to be clear. Animals are innocent. That's why it hits so hard. Agree. They don't understand, you know? Like the two cats that we've had that passed away, one of them passed away from a blood clot, and it was very sudden. Like, no preparation, just he was not okay in the morning, and then he was dead before noon. Like, very quick. And then his brother, who was like his litter mate, and they were best friends, he didn't understand. Like, you know, he would go wait by the door and like meow. And I was like, your buddy's not coming back, dude. I'm sorry. You don't understand. And then when we went to get Lucy put to sleep because he was dying of heart failure, like a year later, he was like curious about what the vets were doing. And the vet was like literally about to give him the injection. And Lucy was like, what are you doing? Smell, smell. I'm like, it was necessary and I'm happy he's not suffering. My grandpa was shitty about it though. Lots of it's just a cat. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to explain, especially if you're child free and your animals like are where you put all of that love and attention. Um, it's like, what do you mean it's just a cat? It's a member of my family. It's my buddy who sits in my lap every day, you know? Like it's much more intense than people think. I don't know how rat parents do it. Yeah, I would never do rats. Mersh in the chat, like, has had rats and mice, and I think that a lot of them just passed away recently, but like they die every like 4 years or something. It's bad enough with cats that you only get like somewhere between 10 to 20 years, you know? I know, rats are too cute and they have little hands. Oh, rats only have a 2-year lifespan? God, that's crazy. Oh my gosh, I gotta drink more water. My throat definitely getting a little squeezy. Yeah. Yeah, and I had Lucy, like, I think Lucy was born right after I turned 16. And then he died when I was 28. So, like, yeah. You never love an animal like that, you know? It's like when you first fall in love as a teenager. You know, like, your first really intense relationship. Like, nothing is ever gonna compare to that because you're never gonna be 16 again, you know? Spoiled rats can live longer, but like 7 years is the world record. Goodness. Thorax, great name. Welcome to the website. Says, when I was 21, I lost my 19-year-old cat. Felt like losing a sibling. Yeah, Jesus. You literally grew up with that animal. That's crazy. Ugh. Ugh, sleepy. Okay. I'm thinking we should maybe do another segment or something. Like, maybe? I don't know. I have, like, we could talk about this UK thing. I was thinking about talking about, how people are just, like, freely using slurs and shit now. Like, on Twitter, and sometimes also, like, candidates for office. Excuse me. Been lurking. Yeah. Much love for the lurkers. Excuse me. Oh, dude, side note. My D&D party just did its first round of combat, and we almost got fucked. we, um... We made it. No, nobody died, but we got almost royally fucked by like 3 giant spiders. And actually, I think that we would have done worse, except that like 2 of the spiders ran away after being attacked by us. Oh, did you donate to the GoFundMe, Charlotte? There is an option for anonymous donations, like, so it doesn't show your name. I recently have a $30 donation on GoFundMe, which brings us up to $230 for today. But there is an option to click anonymous, and I can still see your name, but then it won't show up publicly. I want to clarify, autocorrect messed me up. It was my grandma who was horrible. I will not have grandpa slander on the internet. Correction taken. Early game especially, dice rolls make or break you. Yeah. It was basically, I think our DM was basically communicating, this is not what you're supposed to do at this point in the game yet. I was like, let's go into the cave, guys. Let's go figure out what's in the cave. And then there were giant magically enhanced spiders. And yeah, it was insane. It was a lot of fun though. We're kind of starting to get in our groove a little bit. Because we've only had like 4 sessions, I think. The most pressing segment topic possibility is whether the Triarchy will respond to Team Green's request for help in the Gullet versus the Sea Snake's blockade. This is what truly matters. I mean, I think they will. I think they will. You remembering, quote, in love me as a teenager makes the anarcho-Satanist in me today cringe mega hard. Oh no, were you like a Christian back then? Sometimes as a DM, you gotta be ready for your players to make the worst possible decisions. Yeah, I think the DM was basically trying to communicate, like, yes, the caves are important, but you can't go in there yet. I gotta show you, where's my dice bag? Did it fall on the floor? So the dice that I have like a regular kind of set of dice, but I don't use most of them. So like, it's just cheap plastic dice from like, Walmart or something, right? And then also I have this tiny one, which I don't use very often, but it's a tiny D20. The D20 that I use most is this one. Let me... That is a bunch of trans flags just shoved in there. And that's my favorite dice to use. My favorite die to use. My momentarily saddened mind glazed over the D&D mention, so the 3 spiders almost killed us shocked me for a moment there, yeah. Yeah, 3 spiders almost killed us. You know, just in real life. But yeah, I use my trans die mostly. Am I a dice goblin? No, I don't have enough money to be a dice goblin. I have 1 functional set of dice that has... I have 2 extra D20s, basically. And, like, yeah, I don't have the money to be a dice goblin. I would like to be. Listen, if my dad dies, I'm definitely gonna mine his dice collection. But, no. I want other things that are expensive. I want a pistol, and I want hunting gear, and land. You know, I do want expensive things, but yeah, dice... I'm not much of a collector like that. I only have 7 pounds of dice. Only 7 pounds, which is local. Only 7 pounds. I'm gonna get my lizard shed put in a dice set when I have the money. Ooh, nice. I do know a dice maker. If I wanted a custom set of dice, I could have some made for me. Get some real bone dice, yeah. What pistol do you want? Probably a Glock 19. It's just like, you know, it's really easy to get equipment for it. Like, you can really easily find a, you know, it has really common ammunition size. You can easily get a holster for it, you know, easily troubleshoot issues with it because it's a very common pistol. It's very reliable. Yeah, you hear good things. I carry an assortment of dice in my purse for no reason. You should just steal 1 dice every time you see your dad. It would be easier if I saw him ever. I don't really see him. We have some very recent problems in our relationship, so... These are purple. I think they looked kind of blue under the camera light, but... and there was a blue set and a green set of these, so they're purple. Purple swirlies. Purple is, I think my most recent favorite color. I don't know. Hard to say. The Toyota Camry of guns. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Good night, Super Dr. Hulock. Yeah, it's a dicey situation. Exactly. Burple. Burple. Yeah, it's because there's a giant light right here that they look more blue. Like, is it even possible for me to... You can, it looks a little bit darker if I hold it further away from the light. They're purple with yellow writing. Okay, am I gonna do another segment today, or are we just gonna fuck around for the next hour? Like, I don't really care that much. I guess we could do one more thing. Man, I enjoy these streams where we just kind of talk about whatever. I know that not as many of you enjoy it, but listen, there's still 117 people in here listening to us talk about whatever, so... Purple doesn't always show up right on LED screens. I know, it's so difficult. People are leaving to take naps. People are leaving to go eat dinner because The reason why we do the show so early on Sundays is because we have a good number of participants in the chat who are from Europe. So it's like 6 hours later in the UK, which means it's 9 p.m. I can see y'all are getting ready for bed and everything. Makes sense. Hot topic. Jelly beans are neither beans nor made of jelly. Discuss. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any qualms with that. Ooh, I still have coffee. Yes. I was about to drink water, but then I realized I have coffee. Oh man, earlier today I ordered a tank top from my merch website so that I can have one, and I should have gotten a mug. I'll have to do that later. We did talk about the Olympics drama. Yeah, we already did that. I'm going to sleep soon, Netherlands. Yeah. Totally fair, totally understandable. Yes, the best coffee is the coffee you remember you haven't had yet. I've already drank most of this, but yeah. Like when you think maybe you've already finished your coffee, but then you find out you still have some. Good. It's cold, but it's good. Nuvenol says, completely disagree, they are beans. Is a pea a bean? That's more controversial, I think. Are peas beans? I gotta go back. I haven't seen one trans person covering it, and that scares me. Yeah. Yep, we talked about it for like 40 minutes earlier. I ate delicious pizza, and while I'm from Italy, I go to bed late, so it works really well with this stream schedule. What kind of pizza did you have, Fen? What is pizza like in Italia? The food is like the only reason I have any desire to travel. You know, if I ever go to Europe, it's going to be like exclusively because I want to eat delicious food. So what is pizza like in Italy? Are peanuts beans? Good question. I'm busy getting eaten alive by skeeters. Well, stop it, nobody. Don't do that. The bean is a bean. I don't care about botany. You mean the work of art, the bean? Beans, peas equal beans, yes. Okay. Peas and beans are close cousins. They are legumes. Am I a bean? I think so. I think all of you are cute little beans. Peanuts are actually a vegetable because they do not grow from a flower. Fascinating. They grow underground like potatoes. Kind of. Don't they, like, the plant is above, but then they grow down into the ground? Like, the peanuts grow in the ground, but they like, come down off the plant, don't they? Bean has ceased to have any meaning in my head. What's up, Heyo Teo? Welcome in. You know what's really funny is every time I see Heyo Teo, she? Yep. Every time I see Heyo Teo, she reminds me of Xander Hall, because I think the first time I ever saw Heyo Teo was in a Xander Hall chat. Like years ago. Years ago. The best beans are cat toe beans. It's true. Yeah, Mitternacht is, nowhere to be found, so I can't pick him up and bother him. In Italy, you've got Napoli pizza classic, which has a big airy crust and is typically very simple. Then there's Roman pizza, which is crunchier and has a thinner crust, and there are other types. Sent pics on the Discord. Ooh, yes, we're gonna do Feed the Dragon today. Definitely. I guess maybe that's gonna be our last segment for today. I don't want to talk about anything serious. I'm fucking tired of it. But we have a channel in the Discord called Feed the Dragon where you can post pictures of food or pets, and I will judge as the dragon whether your contribution is worthy, and I will devour it, or if I will burn it with fire. Ox, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Very much appreciate you. Agreement with this statement makes a nice at-home toxoplasmosis infection test. I haven't cleaned a cat box in a very long time. That's my partner's job. It's like one of the only things that my partner is supposed to do as far as chores. Like, I don't make as much money, and so I do most of the chores. He cleans the cat box, because I don't want to. Squirrels are eating my tomatoes. Squirrels! How to get on the Discord. There's a link in the description, and also a link on the top of the website chat. Just depend. You're in the YouTube channel, so it's in the description. I do love a crunchy, thinner crust pizza. That sounds very yummy. I was curious more of like what kind of toppings are typical. Yeah, Feed the Dragon. You can post anything you want me to judge during a stream. I haven't checked it out in a long time. Oh, juicy. I love up top is Kitty Tick's husky. I love squirrels, but they'll eat plants when they're just buds. They did it to my dad's pecans. I hate squirrels for this reason. For this specific reason, I do not like squirrels. I tried to do a porch tomato situation a couple years back, and yeah, they just the plant was like this tall, and they just ate the entire plant until it was gone. Like, you motherfuckers. I need a 22 rifle for squirrels. That's what I need. Birds stole my cherries this year. I will have a net next year. Yeah, Jesus. I know you can take like tiny mesh bags and put them around each individual fruit, but that I guess works better if you're growing bigger fruit. Advice how to get squirrels, whiteflies, aphids, and caterpillars to stop eating all my crops. Cinnamon, eucalyptus, that's a good place to start. You can get a dog to chase away the squirrels. Cayenne pepper, yes. Chili pepper, cayenne pepper. Yes, dusting with diatomaceous earth, because that'll just dry up anything. Like, diatomaceous earth will actually kill stuff, whereas cinnamon and all that is more of a deterrent. So they'll still exist in your garden, but they might go away from your plants. But yeah, diatomaceous earth, it'll just straight up kill stuff, because it sticks to them and then it sucks all the water out of their bodies, so it desiccates them and they die. Also good for bed bugs, if you have bed bugs. But cayenne pepper will help with the fucking... I want to feed crows, and I think the way to do it is to take Da Bomb hot sauce and put that on whatever it is that I plan to feed to the crows, because crows don't they don't taste capsaicin at all. But the squirrels will fucking learn their lesson pretty quick. I have about 100 tomato plants growing, and half of them got their leaves chomped on. God, that's annoying. I'm so sorry. Like, God. Yep, chemical warfare against squirrels. One of the squirrels is going to fiend for the spice. Not with Da Bomb hot sauce. Maybe if you just sprinkle cayenne on there, some of the squirrels will get over it, but not Da Bomb. Let's do Feed the Dragon. And I'm probably not going to do any actual segments for the rest of the day, because fucking why would I do that? Okay. I will judge your submissions. First of all, we have a husky from Kitty Tick. That belly looks very chompable. I accept. And then we have this, which is people playing pool with a cat on the table. Is there sound? No, good. And, oh, the cat is helping you win. Uh-oh. That's not regulation. Oh, what a good guy. What a sweetie. Come on, you goofed it. You goofed it. Come on. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty cute. Enjoyable. Rooney said that this reminded him of when I tell people not to leave the stream because I will haunt your dreams. Here's Freddy Krueger saying, "I will come to you in a dream." Like, welcome. What the fuck? Where am I? Help me. True. Got the Pabst Blue Ribbon. Yep. Kitty Tick has also shared this tie-dye picture, which is cool. I love how Luxander stream in the background. And the tie-dye shirt. Very cool. What is this? No. Oh, this one's cute. Oh, that's cute. I've seen It Fucking Wimdy before, but It Fucking Sumney is also good. That's like, it's like it's some kind of weasel, right? Like, I don't know the names of different kinds of weasel, but it definitely is something along those lines. And then this is, of course, a fox. It Fucking Wimdy. Oh, nice, Kitty Tick. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, you made that, tie-dye shirt. That's cool. Oh, Lord Byron has like a nice photo dump of food and animals. Oh, that's excellent. So many pictures. Hell yeah. It looks like mushrooms roasting over a fire pit. Oh man, that already looks yummy. It looks like the beginnings of something very yummy. In a cast iron pan there. Ooh. And then this is some chicken, I think. Heavily spiced with either basil or oregano or something along those lines. A stoat. Maybe a stoat? Hmm. And then crows, just being crows. What is happening here? This like industrial strength shipping container of some sort? I don't know. That crow looks like it's very close to you as well. Crow. Kitty! Sitting on a book. The something of nature. I can't tell what it says, but that's fine. What an esteemed young kitty cat. I want to say girl cat, but God, that has big ears. That cat is not done growing yet, is it? That's like still a cat that's like a year old. It still needs to grow into its ears. Ravens at Yellowstone. Ooh, okay. Nobody looks more hungover than a nocturnal animal forced to move during the day. Garbage cans. Okay, interesting. Oh, big fat kitty. Belly. Nom nom. Wow. What a unit. What a unit. Oh. Belly, 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 belly. What a cutie patootie. And then these are fruit. Various kinds of fruit. This is dragon fruit, I think. I had dragon fruit, but it was like white fleshed and very mild in flavor. Corvids are like raccoons that fly and use teamwork. True. All very worthy considerations. Yeah, Kitty barely needs any packing peanuts to be ready to ship. Ooh, I will accept plant submissions as well. This is a begonia, polka dot begonia. I love begonias. They're so pretty. And it's flowering. Ooh. Delicious. Oh, those are such pretty little flowers. I like begonias because they can have that weird spirally leaf. That's very neat. I know inflation is still horrible, but I actually found some Colombian cold brew coffee at Costco for only $1 a can. Nice. That was so much alliteration also. Do you like crows more than ravens, or do you like them both the same? I like them fine, the same, I guess. Where I live, we basically only have crows. And crows are flock animals, whereas ravens are more solitary, so they have their pros and cons, but I only live around crows. Blushing philodendron. Ooh, that's a pretty flower. Nice. I like your little plant area here. That's cool. A lizard I found on my front porch. Lizard. It's such a long-tailed lizard. Cute, though. Ugh. Another delicious-looking meal from Byron. We've got a nice little steak. Some mashed potatoes with sauteed, or maybe a little bit caramelized onions. On a bed of... That's not kale, is it? It's on a bed of kale? And then with some asparagus. It looks like steamed asparagus. I'm partial to roasted asparagus, but asparagus is still really yummy. Oh no. We have a dragon comic. So at the top here, the knight is getting a kiss and a monetary reward. And then he gets... Oh, he's just a soldier, and then he gets knighted. And he's like, And then the dragon breathes fire on him. Okay, fascinating. Muscle mommy dragon. The asparagus was cooked on an electric grill for a few minutes. Oh, yum. Puppy. Puppy. Oh, look at him. Oh, what a little puppy. Oh, he's old. There's a little white muzzle on the puppy. Oh, baby. Is that another dog in the background? Baby. Some of the tiniest raspberries I've ever seen. Normal size Bic for comparison. Wow. Wow, those are super tiny. That's like all of those berries could just go one mouthful and it wouldn't even be a big mouthful. Wow. Are those from your land? Are they wild raspberries? I bet they're so tart. Ooh. Delicious. Ooh, and this is Byron's wife's quiver that she made. That's cool. Yes. Yeah, you can only really use this with target tips though, which is fine. But like my hunting quiver needs to be able to accommodate these tips that I got. Like these tips help prevent your arrow from getting lost because like you shoot the arrow and if you're shooting it down at the ground, then it'll drag and flip up and then your arrow doesn't get lost. But yeah, it would not fit into a quiver like that. But that is still really cool. It's really pretty. I love the stitching on it. It's gorgeous. And good use of dyed leather. Yeah, it looks like a leg quiver. It looks like part of it goes around the belt and part of it goes around the leg. That's cool. That's a good dog. Or a bad dog. Is that dog begging for food? Because if so, bad dog. Cute though. Baby. Oh, what a cute little calico. Oh, she's making mischief around the Christmas tree. Got a Christmas tree light, and we got a little bit of a Christmas tree in the corner here. She has got big pupils. She's about to grab something. Cute. We've got... Are these budgies? What is this? They're birds. Birds. I'm not very partial to birds, but I do think they're pretty. That's from 2008. Jesus Christ. Aww. Loki healing from a knee surgery. Oh, what beautiful eyes. I love it when dark dogs have like those shocking blue eyes. That's so pretty. Excuse me. I can't believe I just got budgies right. I think that's a tortie, not a calico. Oh, okay, my bad, right? I keep that, I keep the fake Christmas tree up year-round and redecorate it according to the wheel of the year. Yeah, that's like me with my, I have a, shit, what is it called? I have a cornucopia in my kitchen that I just change what's in it throughout the year. Ooh, Fen, showing the true Authentico pizzas. Yes! So this first one has burrata cheese, mortadella, and pistachios. Mortadella is like the meat, right? It's a specific kind of cured ham or something. Oh yeah, pistachios would be really good on a pizza. Ooh, and I like the flatbread look to it. It looks really yummy. Delicious. And this second one has mushrooms on it, which are called meat mushrooms because of the texture. It's got sausage, pecorino cheese sauce, which is made from sheep cheese with a salty and very decisive flavor, and baked potatoes. These are both considered white pizzas, so they have no tomato sauce. It's common here because it goes well with certain toppings. That looks really yummy too! Oh man, I'm hungry now. Oh no. That's the risk of doing Feed the Dragon. Anyone here a fan of corgis? My mom doesn't like them and thinks they're ugly. IDKY, corgis are adorable and sweet. My dad has 2 corgis, and one of them is sweet, and one of them is a bitch. So that's my opinion about corgis. Behold my cat. She has like 10 places to sleep and yet chooses the garbage bag. Yep. Why do they always want to sleep on the garbage? They want to sleep on the garbage. They want to play with the garbage. They don't really use red sauce in Italy, says Symbolic Noise. Might be a USA thing. Oh. Oh. I love it when cats just have their mouth open a tiny bit when they're laying down. It's very cute. Oh no. Okay, apparently the creamsicle one over here is very stupid. He gets lost in the hallway in my 2-bed, 1-bath apartment, so he's real dumb. Nice. Sometimes you gotta love that they're no thoughts, head empty. No thoughts, head empty. Just because we have a combat-ready sword. Nice. You got the free feet. Thank you for the free feet. Cute. I like it. Pumpkin! Oh, Pumpkin is still a baby. Oh. Oh. Yes. What a pretty baby. So far, I don't disapprove of anything that's been posted. Oh, Chunker. Yes. I love this, like, white... Or, sorry, like, the gray spot on the white face. Makes him look like he's got, like, a scanner or something, you know? Like a... I don't know. Like a scouter is what I was trying to say. A scouter. Sink kitty! Sink kitty! Oh, what a baby. Oh, she's so cute. Oh. This cat's name is Bunny. Bunny. What a good baby. Yeah, it's like a pirate kitty too. Yeah. I think I realized that the no thoughts head empty is why I love Pedro Pascal so much. Because he's like a dumb person, but he's just really sweet. You know? Ugh. Kitties are so good. My cat likes to sleep in the sink. My cat is too fat to get up on any countertops. Thank fucking God. It's gonna be the struggle when we get a new cat in the future. Like, I'm sure that my cat is gonna pass away at some point and then we'll get a new cat. But like having to relearn or like reestablish boundaries. My cat is too fat. And like, I'm gonna get a new young cat someday and it's gonna jump up on shit and I'm not gonna want him to. Like, it's gonna be frustrating. By the way, highly recommend cooking over a campfire. The natural smokiness slaps hard. Ugh. When I own a house one day, I'm definitely going to have a campfire area. Like, my partner likes fish, but he is nauseated by the smell of cooking fish, so I can't cook fish ever. Like, I can't fry fish, I can't oven roast fish. Like, maybe if I bought pre-cooked, like, fish fingers, we could eat fish, but, like, it's just... Like, we have to cook it outside if we eat fish, which is funny because he's the one who's really interested in going fishing. He bought a fillet knife and everything, but we would need to catch fish and then cook them outside at the place where you caught the fish, basically. Later, Willow. Willow says it's gamer time. If anybody hasn't hit the like button, it would be really amazing to hit 200 right at the end, but it's okay if we can't. Domino is thick, but she can still jump to the ceiling. Yeah, recently my cat was jumping and knocking over the thing that he was trying to jump on, so I think he's kind of done jumping any higher than getting on the sofa. With only some bricks and fancy soil, you can do an earthen oven and make them Italian pizzas. Yeah, it would be cool to have an outdoor oven. very bad picture of the sink kitty. Oh, that looks so fluffy. They look so fluffy. What a good baby. I do feel that this was a pretty successful Sunday stream. We only did one segment, but fuck it, apparently. Whatever. I have like a video that's like, I actually have more work to do on it, so it might not even be ready tomorrow. So I've got Xander Hall video for either tomorrow or Tuesday, and then the Olympics video, and then like, I'm just gonna miss a day this week. It's not a big deal though. I'm not a post every day kind of person. Oh my gosh, we have more pictures. We're gonna look at the rest of these pictures though. Oh no. Baby. So many babies. Okay, so we have Black Cat. Adorable. With a little witchy toy. Cute. Baby! No! Oh, I definitely want to eat that one. Nom 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 nom! Oh, what a cutie! Oh no. Excuse me. Yeah, that's a butt. That's definitely a butt. That's a cat butt if I ever saw one. Butt. Oh, what a pristine little baby. Mm. I love this cat. I just love it. I love his little face. Oh, that's a good dog. That's a happy dog. That's a happy outside dog. For sure. Oh, what a comfy kitty. Oh, yeah, on a squishmallow. I bet that's the comfiest place in the whole house. Right on top of the squishmallow. No, I appreciate all the cat pictures. I think I'm gonna stop there, though. There's so many beautiful babies. I can't get over this one. I want to eat that one. Nom nom. Yes. What good babies. I love all of them. They're perfect. Every single one. Okay. I know it's a little bit early, but I think we'll go ahead and wrap it there. I'll rest my voice, prepare to make meatloaf tonight for dinner, get myself some lunch going here. So for you all, I hope that you enjoyed hanging out. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. Please feel free to check us out again on Wednesday. We will be back at 4 p.m. Central US time on Wednesday. And of course, you can always hop in the Discord server and chat and see what all people are talking about. Post your pictures. And, you know, continue to build community. Enjoy each other's company. All right, my loves. My dear sweet Horties. The dragon bids you farewell and good night. Be good. Or at least don't get caught.